Chosen One, you did not find this message by chance. You were meant to be here, at this exact moment hearing these words. The universe, the divine, and the forces beyond the veil have aligned to bring you to this revelation. Tonight marks the beginning of something profound, an event that has been foretold for centuries, hidden in ancient texts, whispered in sacred prophecies, and now unfolding in real time. The 144,000 chosen ones are gathering not in the physical world but in the higher realms, where energy, destiny, and divine purpose intersect. Do you feel it? That deep stirring within your soul? That undeniable sensation that something powerful is shifting in the unseen world? The veil between dimensions is thinner than ever before. Those attuned to the spiritual realm will feel an unmistakable energy coursing through them. Some will experience prophetic dreams, divine messages, or a profound sense of unity with something greater than themselves. This is the moment of activation. If you have ever questioned your purpose, if you have ever felt different, if you have ever sensed that you were meant for something greater, this is your confirmation. You are part of this. You are one of the 144,000. For generations, the prophecy of the 144,000 has echoed through time, woven into ancient texts, sacred teachings, and mystical revelations. It is not a forgotten myth nor a distant legend, but a divine code, a calling written into the very fabric of existence. This prophecy speaks of a hidden force, a sacred army of light destined to rise when the world reaches its darkest hour. Their purpose is not conquest nor destruction, but awakening, a great unveiling of truth that will shatter the illusions that have bound humanity for ages. Throughout history, many have encountered this number in religious scriptures and esoteric teachings, yet few have grasped its true significance. Some believe it represents a literal group of souls, predetermined from the beginning of time. Others see it as a symbolic force, a vast collective consciousness awakening to its divine purpose. But the truth runs deeper than mere numbers or abstract interpretations. The 144,000 are not just a statistic, they are a movement, a force of transformation, a beacon of divine energy radiating across the spiritual realms. Unlike the rulers of this world, they are not chosen based on material wealth, social status, or earthly power. They are not recognized by crowns, titles, or possessions. Instead, they are marked by the strength of their spirit, the purity of their mission, and their unshakable connection to the divine. They are the ones who have endured lifetimes of trials, facing adversity, rejection, and solitude, only to emerge stronger, wiser, and more resolute. Every hardship they have faced was not a punishment, but a preparation. Their souls have been forged in the fires of experience, their wisdom carved from the depths of struggle. If you have felt a deep sense of purpose beyond the mundane, if you have always sensed that you were different, if you have carried within you an unshakable knowing that you were meant for something greater, this is your confirmation. You are not here to blend in with the many. You are here to lead. The world is asleep, ensnared in illusions carefully woven to suppress the truth, and the time has come for the chosen to rise. The moment of awakening is now. The 144,000 are stepping into their divine mission, and if these words resonate within your soul, it is because you are one of them. The prophecy is unfolding, and you are an essential part of it. From the moment you took your first breath in this world, you knew you were different. There was something within you, an awareness, a knowing, that set you apart from those around you. While others moved through life unquestioning, accepting the world as it was presented to them, you saw beyond the surface. You sensed things before they happened, felt energies others ignored, and recognized the illusions that kept people trapped in a false reality. Even as a child, you may have felt like an outsider, as though you were walking through life with a purpose you could not yet fully comprehend. Your journey has not been an easy one. Throughout your life, you may have experienced moments of deep isolation, times when you felt disconnected from the world around you, as if searching for something you could not name. You have faced struggles that tested your spirit, battles that pushed you to the brink, and challenges that seemed insurmountable. But none of it was without reason. Every hardship, every pain, every moment of doubt was part of a greater preparation. The fire you walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to refine you, to awaken the power within you, and to shape you into the being you were always meant to become. You were never meant to conform to the patterns of this world. You were never meant to follow the path of the many. The unease you have felt, the questions that have burned in your mind, the pull towards something greater, these were not coincidences. They were signs, reminders of your true nature, clues leading you to this very moment. And now, that moment has arrived. Tonight, the next stage of your awakening begins. The 144,000 are being activated. And if you are reading this, you are part of that divine calling. The energy is shifting. The veil between worlds is thinning, and those who are ready will feel it in their very core. This is the time for the chosen to rise, to embrace their mission, and to step fully into the light of their destiny. You were never meant to stay in the shadows. You were meant to shine. And now, the world is waiting. This world is not what it appears to be. Beyond the veil of ordinary life, beneath the illusions of daily existence, an ancient battle has been raging since the dawn of time. It is not a war fought with swords, guns, or earthly weapons, nor is it confined to physical battlefields. It is a war for the very soul of humanity, a relentless struggle between light and darkness, truth and deception, freedom and enslavement. The forces of darkness have worked tirelessly to keep humanity blind, lost, and disconnected from its divine essence. They have woven a web of distractions, manipulated reality through false narratives, and shrouded the minds of millions in spiritual blindness. Every system designed to dull intuition, suppress independent thought, and breed conformity is part of this war. The world is filled with noise, chaos, and carefully crafted illusions to keep people asleep, to prevent them from realizing their true power. And yet, despite their efforts, the light cannot be extinguished. The darkness fears the light, for it knows that once the truth is revealed, its hold will weaken. That is why those who carry the divine spark, the 144,000, have faced such immense trials. Have you ever wondered why your life has been filled with struggle, why you have endured betrayals, rejection, and obstacles that others seem to escape? It is because the darkness recognized you long before you recognized yourself. It saw the power within you, the potential for awakening, and sought to break you before you could rise. But it has failed. Despite every hardship, every attack, every attempt to silence you, you are still here. And tonight, as the 144,000 unite, the forces of darkness will tremble. The time of their control is coming to an end. The energy is shifting, and those who are ready to embrace their divine calling will feel it deep within their souls. This is the moment of reckoning, the turning point in the spiritual war. The awakening of the chosen is not just a possibility, it is an unstoppable force, and as the light rises, the grip of darkness will crumble. Tonight is unlike any other night. Beneath the surface of ordinary existence, beyond the limits of human perception, something profound is unfolding in the spiritual realm. This is not a moment bound by time or geography. It is a convergence of souls, a sacred alignment where the chosen ones are drawn together through an unseen force that transcends the physical world. Though separated by distance, they are united in energy, in purpose, in divine resonance. As this gathering takes place, the veil between worlds will thin, and those attuned to the shift will experience its effects in ways both subtle and undeniable. Some will feel an overwhelming sense of peace, as if a heavy burden they have carried for lifetimes is suddenly lifted. Others will be struck by a surge of energy, an electrifying pulse moving through their being, awakening dormant aspects of their soul. Prophetic dreams may come, visions of what is to unfold, flashes of divine insight revealing knowledge long hidden from the conscious mind. Some will see patterns of light, symbols not meant for the eyes but for the soul to understand. For many, the most powerful sensation will be an unshakable sense of unity. The loneliness, the isolation that has accompanied their journey will fade into the realization that they have never truly been alone. They are part of something vast, something eternal, something far greater than they ever imagined. And in that moment of recognition, fear and doubt will dissolve, replaced by a deep knowing, a certainty that they are exactly where they need to be, stepping fully into their divine purpose. This is not a night of chaos or confusion. It is a night of alignment, of divine order, of prophecy unfolding before our very eyes. The forces of darkness have worked tirelessly to prevent this awakening, to keep the chosen ones disconnected, distracted, and doubting their own power. But tonight, their efforts will fail. The 144,000 are rising, and the shift they bring will send ripples through every plane of existence. This is the moment the darkness has feared, and it is only the beginning. The time has come. The sacred alignment is unfolding, and the spiritual realm is calling you to step fully into your divine purpose. But to receive the energy of this transformation, you must be prepared. You cannot enter this moment carrying the weight of distractions, doubt, or fear. Your mind must be clear, your spirit open, and your heart ready to embrace what is coming. Begin by cleansing your energy. The world is filled with heavy frequencies, fear, anger, and doubt that cloud the mind and weaken the soul. These energies are designed to keep you disconnected from your higher self. Release them. Let go of anything that no longer serves you. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and allow the light to fill every part of your being. Meditation, prayer, or even quiet reflection will help realign you with the divine flow. Next, disconnect from distractions. The noise of the world, the endless chaos, the demands, the illusions are meant to keep you asleep. But tonight, silence is your ally. Turn off external distractions. Step away from anything that pulls you from your inner truth. Find stillness. The spiritual realm is speaking, and only those who are truly listening will hear its call. As you prepare, ground yourself in truth. The forces of darkness will try to shake your faith, whispering confusion and doubt into your mind. They want you to question your worth, to wonder if you are truly meant for this mission. But understand this: you would not feel the call if you were not chosen. This alignment is not accidental. It has been orchestrated since before time, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stand firm in knowing. Raise your frequency. Fear, negativity, and doubt will lower your vibration and block the divine energy trying to reach you. Do not allow darkness to take root. Protect your energy, surround yourself with light, and elevate your consciousness. The higher your vibration, the more deeply you will connect with the awakening taking place. Speak it into existence. Write it down. Set a clear intention. I am ready. I step fully into my divine mission. I embrace my purpose without fear. Words have power, and when spoken with conviction, they shape reality. The moment is here. The alignment is happening. You must step forward with confidence, for this is the night that will change everything. Tonight is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the beginning of something far greater. The alignment you have stepped into will shift everything, awakening a power within you that has long been waiting to rise. From this moment forward, you will no longer see the world as you once did. The illusions that once clouded your vision will dissolve, revealing truth with a clarity you have never known before. A deeper sense of purpose will settle within you, guiding your every step with unwavering certainty. But with this awakening comes responsibility. Your mission is not to force change upon others, but to embody the light so powerfully that those who are ready will awaken simply by witnessing your truth. You are a guide, a beacon in a world that has long been shrouded in darkness. Your existence alone, the way you carry yourself, the strength of your spirit, will be enough to stir something within those who are seeking. You do not need to convince, debate, or demand. Your presence will do the work. Yet, Be prepared, the forces that have worked to keep humanity blind will not surrender easily. Now that you have stepped into your power, the forces of deception will try harder than ever to silence you. They will seek to cast doubt upon your path, to pull you back into the illusions you have only just escaped. The world will not understand you. It never has, and it never will. But that is not your burden to carry. You were not sent here to be understood. You were sent to fulfill a prophecy. The distractions, the resistance, the attempts to suppress your light, none of it matters. What matters is that you continue to rise, to stand firm in your truth, and to walk forward with unwavering faith. The awakening is accelerating, and the time for hesitation is over. You are here for a reason. You were chosen for this moment. The world will never be the same after tonight. The spiritual realm has shifted. The energy of the 144,000 has begun to dismantle the illusion. The darkness is losing its grip, but the war is not over. The enemy will resist, but it will fail. You must stand firm. You must hold your light. You must walk in your power. The time for hesitation has long passed. You were sent here for this exact moment, and now the world needs you. Tonight, you rise. If you feel this message in your soul, acknowledge it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 777 below to affirm your alignment. Let the spiritual realm witness your awakening. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your destiny, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are chosen. Now act like it. They laughed at you. They whispered behind your back. They called you foolish for believing in true love. They watched your loneliness and mocked it, as if being alone meant being unworthy. They thought rejection would crush you, that heartbreak would leave you broken beyond repair. They sneered at your faith, dismissing it as childish, naive, a hopeless dream. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't possibly see, was that while they were laughing, heaven was working. While they ridicule you, God was preparing something beyond their comprehension. Every tear you cried, every lonely night, every silent prayer, it was not for nothing. It was all leading you to a divinely ordained love, one that is deeper, stronger, and more unshakable than anything they have ever known. Your true love is coming, and this time it's different. This love isn't just a fleeting emotion or a temporary infatuation. It is a divine appointment, a love that carries heaven's seal. The very love they said didn't exist for you is already written in the heavens, waiting for its appointed time. So, let them laugh, let them doubt, let them mock. Because when God moves, the laughter will stop. Rejection is one of the deepest wounds a heart can endure. It cuts in ways that words cannot fully capture, leaving behind invisible scars that whisper doubts into your soul. There were moments when you sat in silence, wrestling with questions that seemed to have no answers. God, why? Why does love always seem just out of reach? Why am I always the one left behind? You replayed the scenes in your mind, the people who walked away, the doors that closed before you could even step through, the painful reminders that what you longed for was not yet yours. It felt personal. It felt final. But here is what you must understand. Rejection was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to redirect you. It wasn't a sign of your unworthiness, nor was it proof that you were unloved. Instead, it was a divine intervention, God's way of protecting you from settling for something less than His best. Every no you received was never an absence of love, but rather a safeguard from the wrong love. Every heartbreak was not a punishment, but a preparation for something greater. Consider Joseph, a young man full of dreams, sold into slavery by his own brothers, betrayed, abandoned, discarded. To them, it was the end of his story, but to God, it was just the beginning. The very path that others meant for his downfall became the stepping stone to his destiny. What they intended for evil, God transformed into a position of power and influence. What if Joseph had never been sold? What if he had never faced rejection? He would have never walked into his God-ordained purpose. Think about Hannah, a woman who knew the sting of rejection all too well. She was mocked and ridiculed for her barrenness, treated as if she had no worth. The whispers of those around her must have been deafening, their sneers a constant reminder of what she lacked. But in her brokenness, she turned to God, pouring out her soul before Him. And in His perfect timing, He gave her Samuel, a child who would grow into a mighty prophet. Had she not endured the waiting, the heartbreak, and the rejection, she may have never birthed the man who would anoint kings. And then there was Noah, a man who spent years building an ark when there was no sign of rain. The people around him laughed, calling him foolish. They mocked his obedience, dismissed his faith, and saw his unwavering trust in God as ridiculous. But when the flood came, Noah stood secure, while the world was washed away. His rejection by man positioned him for preservation by God. Now look at yourself. Every rejection you have faced was not the end of your story. It was merely a chapter in God's greater plan. He saw the hidden betrayals, the unspoken intentions, the silent wounds that you couldn't perceive, and in His infinite wisdom, He intervened not to hurt you, but to shield you. What felt like abandonment was actually divine alignment. The doors that closed were never meant for you. The people who left were never meant to stay. And the love that has not yet arrived is simply being prepared in God's perfect timing. You were never being denied. You were being redirected. And when God finally opens the right door, you will understand why every closed one was necessary. The world has a habit of overlooking treasures while they are still being formed. A diamond in its raw state looks like nothing more than an ordinary rock, dull, unremarkable, unworthy of attention. But to a skilled jeweler, it holds immeasurable value, waiting to be refined and revealed. You are that diamond. For years they dismissed you. They told you that you were too much, or perhaps not enough. Too soft, too strong, too quiet, too bold. They convinced you that love was something others received, but not you. Maybe you started to believe it, that somehow you were destined to be overlooked, that your heart was too big, your standards too high, your dreams too impossible. But the rejection of men has no power over the approval of God. Look at David, the forgotten son. When the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel, David's own father didn't even bother to present him. Instead, Jesse paraded his older, stronger, more impressive-looking sons before Samuel, assuming that surely one of them was the chosen one. But God had already made His decision. Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. David was overlooked by men but handpicked by God. His own family failed to recognize his worth, yet he was the one God called to be king. Look at Jesus, the Son of God. He was despised and rejected, mocked and ridiculed by the very people He came to save. They spat at Him, accused Him, and cast Him aside, believing He was nothing more than an ordinary man, unworthy of honor. But their rejection did not change His identity. It fulfilled His destiny. Had they not despised Him, had they not crucified Him, the greatest act of love, the redemption of humanity, would never have been completed. You were never meant to fit in with those who couldn't see your worth. They didn't recognize you because they weren't meant to. They didn't cherish you because they weren't assigned to your destiny. Their rejection was not a reflection of your value. It was proof of their inability to see it. You are a masterpiece in progress, being shaped by the hands of the Creator. And when the right person enters your life, they will see you, not as something to be discarded, but as something to be cherished. The love that is coming will honor you the way you deserve. No more begging to be seen. No more wondering if you're enough. No more questioning if love is meant for you. Because it is. And when it arrives, you will understand why those who failed to see your worth were never meant to have you. You are not waiting in vain. Every moment of longing, Every tear you've shed, every whispered prayer, it has all been seen by God. Yet the enemy has worked tirelessly to convince you otherwise. He has whispered lies into your heart, trying to make you believe that love is not meant for you. He has told you that you are forgotten, unworthy, or simply not destined for happiness. He has taken your disappointments and shaped them into doubts, hoping you would give up on the promise God has written over your life. But stop for a moment and ask yourself, if your love story wasn't powerful, why would the enemy try so hard to make you doubt it? The enemy does not attack what is insignificant. His greatest fear is that you will hold on to faith and trust in the divine timing of God. He knows that when your love story unfolds, it will be a testimony, one that will silence every doubt and prove that God always fulfills his promises. Look at Ruth. She lost everything: her husband, her security, her home. She could have chosen to give up, to let bitterness take over, but instead, she followed God's path. She remained faithful even when the future seemed uncertain. And in doing so, she walked right into the arms of Boaz, a man of honor and integrity, a man whom God had already prepared for her. Her story reminds us that even in loss, God is leading us to something greater. Think about Sarah. She waited decades for God's promise to be fulfilled. She even laughed at the thought of having a child in her old age. It seemed impossible. Time had passed. Hope seemed lost. But God's timing is never late. It is always perfect. Isaac was born, just as God had promised now. Think about you. Do you truly believe that the same God who orchestrated love stories for generations has somehow forgotten yours? Impossible. The love God has for you is already written. It is sealed in heaven, untouched by human rejection, protected from every past heartbreak, immune to every lie the enemy has spoken over your life. No disappointment, no delay, and no doubt can erase what God has already set in motion. Hold on, stay faithful, and trust that when God writes a love story, nothing and no one can take it away. When this love arrives, it will be more than just a relationship. It will be a testimony. It will be undeniable proof that God's promises are true, that his timing is perfect, and that no rejection, delay, or disappointment could stop what he has ordained for you. The very people who once mocked your faith, who doubted that true love was possible for you, will be left speechless. They will have no choice but to watch as you step into a love so profound, so divinely orchestrated, that it will erase every lie ever spoken against you. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. This love will be an overflowing cup, a demonstration of God's faithfulness, a reminder that he never forgets his promises. It will restore what the enemy tried to steal: your confidence, your hope, your belief in love. Where rejection once made you feel unworthy, this love will remind you that you were always worth waiting for. This love will not be built on fleeting attraction or temporary infatuation. It will not be something you have to chase, beg for, or fight to keep. It will never leave you feeling insecure, questioning your worth, or doubting your place in someone's heart. Instead, it will be a covenant, sealed in faith and divine purpose. It will be a love that uplifts, strengthens, and heals. A partnership that reflects God's glory. It will be the kind of love that feels safe, certain, and unwavering, where you are cherished for who you truly are. This love will not only bring joy to your heart, but it will also silence every doubter, proving that God's plans for you were far greater than what anyone could have imagined. What once seemed impossible will now stand as a testimony to his power and his perfect love for you. Every moment of loneliness was never wasted. It was a season of divine preparation. Those nights when your heart ached, believing that love had passed you by, were not empty moments of despair. They were sacred. Your tears were not in vain. They were watering the seeds of something greater, something heaven ordained, something worth every second of the wait. It may have felt like silence, like your prayers were echoing into nothingness, but all along, heaven was moving. Every moment you chose faith over fear, every time you surrendered your desires instead of grasping at something less, you were waging spiritual warfare. You were breaking chains you couldn't see, dismantling generational cycles that had kept others bound. You were preparing your heart, stretching your spirit, allowing God to refine you so that when His promise arrived, you would be ready to receive it fully. Waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. God wasn't withholding love from you. He was protecting you from anything less than His best. He wasn't ignoring your prayers. He was aligning them with His perfect timing. What you thought was delay was actually divine strategy. And now the shift is happening. The long nights of wondering, the seasons of waiting, the whispered prayers in solitude, all of it has led to this moment. The season of waiting is ending, and the season of fulfillment is beginning. The doors that once seemed closed are opening, and what once felt impossible is now within reach. God is speaking. My child, I have seen your tears. I have heard your prayers. I have watched you trust me even when you couldn't see the way forward. And now, I am bringing you the love I have prepared for you. The love that is coming is not just an answer to your prayers. It is a reflection of my faithfulness. It is a love that will glorify me, a love that will stand the test of time, a love that was always meant for you. What is coming will not just heal your heart. It will prove that the wait was never wasted. It will remind you why settling was never an option. The love that is about to enter your life is not just a blessing. It is a testimony of endurance, of faith, of a God who never forgets His promises. This love story will be written by the hand of God, sealed by His favor, and no one, not even the enemy, will be able to erase it. So, stand tall, hold your head high, because your true love is not just coming, it is here. The love that was once a promise is now becoming a reality. The story they thought had ended is just beginning, and the next time they laugh, it won't be at you. If this message has touched your heart, don't let the journey end here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay connected as we continue to walk in faith, uncover God's promises, and embrace the love He has prepared for us. Your support helps spread this powerful message. Let's walk this journey together. Dear Chosen One, if you are watching this, it is not by chance. You have been led here, guided by a force greater than yourself, because your life is about to change in ways you never imagined. The struggles, the sleepless nights, the unanswered prayers, all of it has been preparing you for this very moment. You are on the brink of a divine transformation where you will step into unlimited abundance, prosperity, and joy. God is calling His chosen ones to rise, to leave behind limitations, and to embrace a destiny far greater than they ever dreamed possible. You have worked tirelessly, yet something inside you whispers that you were meant for more. That whisper is not your imagination. It is God's voice telling you, it is time. Today, I bring you a message of faith, transformation, and supernatural provision. You are about to step into a millionaire destiny, not through endless toil, but through divine favor. Your struggles are ending, and your breakthrough is beginning. So, open your heart, clear your mind, and prepare yourself, because your life will never be the same after this. For far too long, you have found yourself caught in a cycle of working tirelessly with little to show for it. You have given your time, energy, and passion to jobs that fail to recognize your worth, draining your spirit rather than fulfilling your purpose. You have watched others rise to success while you remain stuck, wondering if your breakthrough will ever come. Society has taught you that financial security is only achieved through relentless effort, that wealth is reserved for the select few who sacrifice everything to attain it. But let me tell you something. This is not the life you are meant to live. God did not place you on this earth merely to struggle, to work endlessly just to make ends meet, and to live a life of limitation. You were created for something greater. You are not here to be overlooked, undervalued, or bound by financial hardship. Your purpose is not to serve those who fail to see your value. Your purpose is to lead, to create, and to prosper. That deep desire within you for more freedom, more abundance, more impact, is not greed. It is God's calling, reminding you that you were made for a life beyond struggle. Now is the time to break free. Break free from the chains of financial hardship that have kept you trapped. Free yourself from the jobs that deplete your soul and keep you from stepping into your true calling. Free yourself from the belief that wealth and success belong to others, but not to you. You are just as worthy of abundance as anyone else. The struggle is not your destiny, prosperity is. The world may tell you that success only comes through backbreaking labor and endless sacrifice. But God's plan is different. His favor does not come through exhaustion, it comes through faith. When God chooses to bless you, no man, no system, and no circumstance can stand in the way. The shift in your life is already in motion. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it arrives, nothing will be able to stop it. So, lift your head high. You were never meant to settle. You were never meant to live in lack. God has already written abundance into your story. Now, all that is left is for you to step forward in faith and claim the life He has been preparing for you. The struggle ends here. Your time is now. Imagine waking up each day knowing that money is no longer a source of stress. Imagine a life where your bank account is overflowing, where your dreams are no longer distant possibilities but tangible realities, and where your heart is at peace, knowing that you are fully provided for. This is not just wishful thinking. This is your destiny. The financial transformation that is coming to you is not an ordinary change. It is not just an increase in your paycheck, a sudden promotion, or a lucky break. This is a divine shift. The windows of heaven are opening, and God is preparing to pour out blessings so great that you will not have room to contain them. This is not wealth that comes through struggle or mere human effort. This is supernatural provision, flowing effortlessly into your life beyond anything you have ever imagined. What this abundance looks like in your life, a financial overflow. The days of living paycheck to paycheck are over. You will have more than enough to provide for yourself, more than enough to bless others, and more than enough to live without financial worry. Opportunities knocking at your door. The right doors will open for you at the right time. You won't have to force success. It will come to you naturally. The right career moves, the best investments, and the most profitable ventures will align in your favor. Divine connections. God will place people in your life who will help you rise higher. Mentors, business partners, and influential individuals will be drawn to you, guiding you toward greater wealth and success. An elevated lifestyle. No more settling for less than you deserve. You will live in abundance, comfort, and joy. Your home, your environment, and your experiences will reflect the blessings God has poured into your life. And here is the most powerful truth. When God blesses you, it is not temporary. This wealth will not come and go like fleeting riches. It will be permanent, limitless, and generational. The abundance He is about to release into your life is not just for you. It is meant to bless your family, uplift your community, and leave a lasting impact for generations to come. There may have been moments when you felt forgotten, when you cried out to God wondering if He even heard you. He did. Every tear, every hardship, every rejection, none of it went unnoticed. The silent battles you fought, the sacrifices you made, and the nights you spent wondering when your breakthrough would come were never in vain. God has seen it all, and through it, He has been preparing something far greater than you could ever imagine. For too long you have been overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed. You have watched as others moved ahead while you remained stuck, wondering if your time would ever come. But the tables are turning. Those who once doubted you will soon be astonished by the heights you will reach. The people who ignored your potential will witness your rise, not because of mere luck, but because of God's divine plan unfolding in your life. God is about to silence your critics, not with words, but with undeniable success. Your journey, the struggles, the setbacks, the disappointments will become a powerful testimony of what is possible when faith aligns with divine timing. Your story will inspire many, proving that no hardship is permanent and that God's promises always come to pass. What this transformation means for you. The people who once dismissed you will now seek your wisdom and guidance. Those who mocked your struggles will admire your success. The pain, frustration, and rejection of the past will be replaced with overwhelming joy and victory. You will no longer chase after money. Money will chase after you. The financial breakthrough you are stepping into will not only transform your personal circumstances, but will also serve as a public testament to God's power. You will be a living example of what happens when faith is unshakable, when patience is unwavering, and when God's favor is upon a person's life. Your struggles were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you into the person who is now ready to receive an overflow of blessings. Get ready. Your testimony is about to change lives. Faith is the key that unlocks the doors to supernatural abundance. It is not enough to hope for prosperity. You must believe it is already yours. If you truly know that God has chosen you for wealth and success, then it is time to start acting like it. Walk in confidence, speak in faith, and live in expectation. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not allow doubt to creep in and make you question whether you are worthy of the blessings that are coming your way. You are. The only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is your belief in it. So, stop hesitating. Stop shrinking back. Declare boldly, "My time has come." God's blessings are already flowing towards you. Your only job is to receive. The resources, opportunities, and connections that will elevate you to the next level are already aligning in your favor. You do not need to chase after them anxiously. Instead, trust that they are on their way. Stop worrying about how it will happen. Trust that it will. Stop doubting whether you deserve it. You do. Stop waiting for permission. God has already given it. When you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, everything around you begins to change. The universe responds to what you believe and expect. If you expect struggle, struggle will come. But if you expect prosperity, if you truly believe that financial success is yours, then money, opportunities, and success will flow into your life effortlessly. Faith is not passive, it is powerful. It does not wait for evidence, it creates the evidence. When you trust fully in God's plan, you remove every barrier standing between you and your destiny. The doors are already open, the blessings are already moving. Now is the time to step forward and claim what is rightfully yours. Your millionaire transformation is already in motion. The shift has begun, and doors are opening in ways you cannot yet see. Now, your responsibility is to prepare yourself to receive the wealth that is coming. Many people pray for abundance but remain stuck in a mindset of scarcity, unknowingly blocking the very blessings they desire. You must align yourself mentally, spiritually, and practically with the overflow that is on its way. Aligning with wealth begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing yourself as someone waiting for financial breakthrough, start thinking and acting like someone who already possesses abundance. Wealth is not merely a distant hope. It is something you expect, claim, and walk in daily. By envisioning yourself as financially free, living in abundance, and making an impact, you align your thoughts with the reality of prosperity. Your words play a crucial role in shaping your financial future. What you declare over your life determines what manifests. Every day, speak prosperity into existence. I am chosen for abundance. Money flows to me effortlessly. God's blessings are chasing me down. When you affirm wealth, you activate it. Speak as if it is already yours, because in the spiritual realm, it is. However, true abundance requires releasing scarcity thinking. Fear of losing money, hesitation to invest, or reluctance to take bold steps can keep you trapped in lack. Wealth is not limited, nor is God's provision ever exhausted. The more you give freely, invest wisely, and take courageous action, the more you open yourself to financial overflow. Operating with an abundance mindset invites prosperity to flow effortlessly into your life. Equally important is being ready to receive. Financial breakthroughs often come suddenly, but if you are not prepared, you may hesitate and miss them. Stay open, stay aware, and step into new opportunities without fear. The blessing you have been praying for could arrive at any moment. Be in position to embrace it. Above all, stay in faith. Even when circumstances seem uncertain, trust that God is working behind the scenes. Delays are not denials, they are divine alignments, preparing you for something greater. Patience and unwavering belief in the promise of abundance will attract the wealth you seek. What you expect is what you will receive, so expect greatness, walk boldly in faith, and claim the prosperity that is already yours. Expect wealth, expect success, expect miracles. Your financial breakthrough is not a matter of if, but when, and when it comes, you will be ready to receive it. Your millionaire destiny is waiting. Step into it with confidence. The wealth that is coming into your life is not just for personal gain, it is a divine assignment. God is not only blessing you with financial abundance, He is entrusting you with a greater purpose. This wealth is meant to flow through you, not just to you. It is a tool to create change, uplift others, and leave a legacy that extends far beyond your lifetime. Your financial breakthrough is not just about comfort and luxury, it is about impact. With this wealth, you will have the ability to help those in need, to be a source of provision for those who are struggling. You will be able to support causes that matter, investing in ministries, charities, and initiatives that bring light and hope into the world. You will create opportunities for others, opening doors for those who never had the resources or the guidance to reach their potential. And above all, you will leave a lasting legacy, one that will inspire and bless generations to come. This is bigger than money. It is about stepping fully into your divine calling. The wealth you receive is not just about what you can acquire, but about what you can give, build, and transform. True prosperity is not measured by how much you keep, but by how much you are able to bless others. So as you prepare for the financial overflow that is coming, remember the purpose behind it. You are not just being elevated, you are being positioned to elevate others. Walk boldly in this new season, knowing that your abundance is a divine tool to make a lasting difference in the world. Chosen one, your life is about to change forever. The struggle is ending. The breakthrough is here. The wealth is flowing. You are stepping into a life of abundance, power, and supernatural provision. Do not fear it. Do not resist it. Do not delay it. Receive it. Walk in it. Own it. This is your season of overflow. The world is about to see what happens when a chosen one steps into their divine destiny. Your journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss these life-changing messages. Together, we will continue unveiling the deeper truths that God has for His chosen ones. May His guidance, favor, and wisdom be with you always. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise. There are no coincidences in this life. If you're watching this right now, it's not by accident. Something greater than yourself has brought you to this exact moment. God has a message for you, one that will shift everything you thought you knew about your life, your purpose, and your destiny. Tonight is unlike any other night. This is not just another moment in time. It is a divine appointment, a pivotal moment in your journey. Everything you have gone through has prepared you for this very second. The struggles, the setbacks, the silent prayers whispered into the night, they have all led to this breakthrough. There is a powerful energy moving right now, orchestrated by the hand of God Himself. The universe is shifting, aligning, preparing to open doors you never imagined possible. But there's something you must do first. You must be ready. You must be awake. You must be willing to take the final step into the transformation waiting for you. Before we dive in, take a moment. Breathe. Feel the weight of this moment. Now, to signal your readiness to the divine forces moving in your favor, like and subscribe. Comment. 99. This simple action tells the universe, I am ready to receive. When you take these steps, you are not just engaging with a video, you are activating the energy within you, opening yourself up to the miracles waiting to unfold. Stay with me until the end, because this message is for you. And if you truly are a chosen one, something deep inside you already knows it. There comes a time in every person's life when everything shifts, a moment so profound that it changes the course of destiny forever. That moment is here for you. This is not just another ordinary night. It is a divine appointment, a sacred opportunity for breakthrough and renewal. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary, a transformation so powerful that it will redefine your life, your purpose, and your future. The struggles you have faced, the battles you have fought, and the moments of doubt that once held you back have all been leading to this very moment. Can you feel it? The energy is shifting, aligning perfectly in your favor. Every delay, every challenge, every closed door was never a rejection. It was a redirection, a preparation for something far greater. Tonight marks the end of stagnation and the beginning of acceleration. You are stepping into a season where prayers turn into reality, where dreams that once seemed impossible begin to unfold right before your eyes. The weight you have carried, the burdens that have exhausted your spirit, are about to be lifted as divine intervention takes place. This is the moment when you rise above fear, above doubt, above every limitation that has tried to keep you from stepping into your highest calling. The universe has heard your silent prayers, seen your hidden struggles, and felt the intensity of your longing for change. And now, the response is here. Doors you never imagined would open are about to be unlocked. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach are now within your grasp. The right people, the right circumstances, and the divine timing of everything in your life are coming together in perfect harmony. You have been chosen for this transformation. It is not a coincidence that you are here, reading these words. Deep down, you already know this is your time. Something inside you has been stirring, whispering that you are meant for more, that the life you desire is not a distant dream, but a reality waiting to be claimed. Now is the time to step forward with unwavering faith, to release the fear, the hesitation, and the doubts that have kept you in the shadows for too long. Your breakthrough does not require perfection, only readiness. The world is waiting to see you step into the fullness of who you were created to be. Your transformation will not just be a change in circumstances, but a complete shift in your spirit, your confidence, and your vision for the future. Everything you have endured has shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and ready for the abundance that is about to flow into your life. So embrace this moment with open arms, because your transformation is here. The journey begins now, and the life you were always meant to live is unfolding before you. Everything in your life, every triumph, every challenge, every detour has led you to this very moment. You are not here by chance. You are not wandering without direction. You have been divinely guided, placed exactly where you need to be, preparing to step fully into the purpose for which you were created. There is a reason your heart has felt restless, searching for something greater. That feeling is not emptiness. It is a calling. It is the voice of God stirring within you, urging you to rise, to embrace the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. There is a divine blueprint for your life, a sacred plan designed with intention and love. Every delay, every closed door, and every moment of uncertainty was never meant to discourage you but to prepare you. The struggles that once felt like setbacks were actually setting you up for something greater. You were never being held back. You were being refined, strengthened, and molded into the person who is now ready to step into divine alignment. Your purpose has always been within you, waiting for the right moment to be activated. That moment is now. Look around you. Feel the shift happening in your spirit. The signs are everywhere. What once felt out of reach is now drawing closer. The dreams you once doubted are proving to be more than just wishes. They are divine visions placed in your heart by God Himself. And if He planted them within you, it means they are meant to come to life. You were never meant to live a life of limitation, fear, or uncertainty. You were created to walk in power, in confidence, and in purpose. The universe is now aligning in your favor, moving obstacles out of your way, connecting you with the right people, and opening doors that no one can shut. But here's the truth. This transformation requires you to step forward. You cannot wait on the sidelines, hoping things will change. You must claim it. You must believe it. You must walk boldly in the direction God is leading you. Divine purpose is not passive. It is active. It is a commitment to trust the process, to let go of fear, and to embrace the extraordinary path that is unfolding before you. This is your moment. You are no longer lost, no longer searching, no longer waiting for validation. You are aligned. The power within you is awakening, and the world is about to see you step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. The time for hesitation is over. The time for doubt is gone. Stand tall, breathe deep, and embrace this truth. You are aligned with divine purpose, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. There is a profound shift happening in your life at this very moment. The dreams that once seemed distant, the prayers that felt unanswered, and the desires you have carried in your heart are no longer just possibilities. They are becoming reality. Manifestation is now yours. Everything you have been believing for, everything you have been working toward, is aligning with divine timing. The universe is responding to your energy, your faith, and your readiness to receive. The delay is over. The obstacles are being removed. What you have longed for is now within your reach. Manifestation is not just about wishing. It is about aligning your mind, spirit, and actions with the reality you want to create. It is about stepping boldly into the belief that you are deserving of the life you have envisioned. When you shift your mindset from doubt to faith, from fear to confidence, from lack to abundance, you activate a divine force that moves mountains on your behalf. What you speak, what you focus on, and what you expect all have the power to shape your future. And now, that power is fully awakened within you. Can you feel it? The energy surrounding you is changing. Doors that were once closed are opening effortlessly. Opportunities that once seemed impossible are making their way to you. The right people, the right circumstances, and the right moments are coming together in divine orchestration. This is not luck. This is not a coincidence. This is the law of manifestation in action. God's promise that what you seek with faith will come to pass. The visions placed in your heart were never random. They were divine assignments, waiting for you to step into them with boldness and belief. Now is the time to speak life over your dreams. Declare with unwavering certainty that success, love, health, and abundance are already yours. See it. Feel it. Walk as if it is already done. Because the moment you truly believe, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. The doubts that once held you back are dissolving. The fears that kept you stuck are fading away. You are stepping into a realm of unlimited possibilities where miracles are your new normal. The power to manifest is now fully in your hands. This is not a fleeting moment. This is a permanent transformation. The person you were before, full of hesitation and uncertainty, is gone. You are now a magnet for blessings, attracting abundance in every form. The life you desire is no longer a distant dream. It is unfolding before your very eyes. Trust it. Embrace it. Walk boldly into it. Manifestation is now yours, and nothing can stand in your way. You were never meant to struggle through life, merely surviving from one day to the next. You were created for more, for abundance, joy, and fulfillment in every aspect of your existence. Abundance is not reserved for a select few. It is not a matter of luck or chance. It is your birthright. You were designed to live in a state of overflowing blessings, where opportunities, success, love, and prosperity flow freely into your life. Everything you need to thrive has already been set in motion for you, waiting for you to step into it with confidence and faith. For too long, you may have believed that abundance was something you had to chase, something that always felt just out of reach. But the truth is, abundance has been pursuing you all along. The moment you shift your mindset from scarcity to gratitude, from fear to faith, you unlock the divine flow of prosperity that was meant for you all along. You do not have to earn it. You only have to receive it. The doors to financial breakthroughs, career success, meaningful relationships, and vibrant health are already open. You only need to walk through them. Abundance is not just about wealth. It is about richness in all areas of life. It is waking up every morning with a heart full of peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. It is attracting the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances effortlessly because you are in perfect alignment with your divine purpose. It is experiencing love, joy, and fulfillment beyond what you ever imagined. You were never meant to live in lack. You were meant to thrive. Right now, at this very moment, the universe is responding to your energy. The more you believe in your worthiness, the more you will see abundance flow into your life. It is not a question of whether abundance is possible for you. It is a question of whether you are ready to accept it. Let go of the limiting beliefs that tell you you're not enough. Release the doubts that whisper you're not worthy. Step boldly into the truth that you are deserving of every blessing that comes your way. The time for waiting is over. You are stepping into a season of overflow. Opportunities will chase you down. Financial breakthroughs will find you. Doors that were once closed will swing open effortlessly. Relationships will flourish. Your health will be restored. The success you once dreamed of will become your reality. You were not born for a life of struggle. You were born for abundance. And now, it is yours to claim. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that you are stepping into the life you were always meant to live. Abundance is your birthright, and nothing can take it away from you. As we close, I need you to understand one thing. This is not a passive moment. This is not a time to sit back and wait. This is your activation. This is your defining moment. If you are ready to step into the life God has prepared for you, claim it now. Declare it in the comments. Type, "I am ready," and seal this moment in faith. The universe has aligned. God has spoken. Now, the choice is yours. Are you ready to walk into your destiny? Because tonight, everything changes. Listen, chosen ones. This is not just another message. This is not for the masses. This is not for those who take God's voice lightly. This is for the remnant, the warriors, the ones who have been marked by the hand of God. This is for those who understand that when God speaks, it is no ordinary word. It is life. It is power. It is a force that shifts realities. When God speaks, He does not speak in vain. Every word He utters carries purpose, authority, and divine weight. His words carve destinies. They open doors that no man can shut. They bring deliverance to the captive, healing to the broken, and judgment to those who reject them. Maybe you have been living beneath your true power. Maybe you have walked through life as if you are just another person, weak, ordinary, afraid. But what if I told you the power you have been waiting for is already inside you? What if I told you that from the moment you gave your life to Christ, you were never meant to live in fear? You were never meant to be weak, powerless, or unsure. You were created to walk in dominion. You were designed to trample on serpents and scorpions, to cast out demons, to break chains, to shift atmospheres, to carry fire. But somewhere along the way, the enemy convinced you that you were powerless, that you were just another believer, another person in the crowd. He whispered lies into your ears, telling you that you are not enough, that you are too small, too broken, too unqualified. But today, those lies break, because God is saying, activate your power, now, not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when you feel ready. It's now. Because here is the truth. The enemy is not waiting for you to be ready before he attacks. He is not waiting for you to feel strong before he launches his warfare against you. He is not waiting for you to understand your power before he moves against you. He has already declared war on you. The only question is, will you fight back? For too long, too many believers have been asleep, drifting through life as if they are powerless, waiting for a sign, waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for God to move when he has already given them everything they need. The battlefield of life is filled with warriors who have forgotten their strength, soldiers who have laid down their weapons, and chosen ones who are living as if they are ordinary. But the time for waiting is over. The time for silence is over. It is time to wake up. It is time to rise. Do you not realize who you are? Do you not understand what has been placed inside you? You were not created to live in fear. You were not designed to bow to the enemy's schemes. You were never meant to be weak, defeated, or unsure. The Spirit of the living God dwells within you, the same power that raised Jesus from the dead, the same power that split the Red Sea, the same power that made fire fall from heaven. That power is inside you, but power that is not activated remains dormant. A sword that is never wielded is useless in battle. A voice that is never raised cannot command authority. A warrior who refuses to fight is already defeated. And yet, so many chosen ones walk through life as if they have no dominion, as if they have no authority, as if the enemy is stronger than they are. But today, that deception is shattered. Today, the veil is torn. Today, the lie that tells you that you are weak, insignificant, or unqualified is destroyed. You have been chosen. You have been called. You have been anointed. The only question is, will you step into your power? Will you shake off the chains of doubt, fear, and hesitation? Will you rise as the warrior God created you to be? The enemy is not waiting to attack until you feel strong. He is not waiting for you to gain confidence before he moves against you. He has already declared war on you. The question is, will you fight back? Or will you continue to sit in fear, hoping for relief, waiting for someone else to step into the battle that is yours to fight? The time for hesitation is over. The time for passivity has come to an end. The kingdom of darkness is advancing, and heaven is calling for warriors to take their stand. Will you be one of them? It is time to wake up from spiritual slumber. It is time to stop making excuses. It is time to stop believing the lie that you are powerless. You have been given authority to use it. You have been given weapons to wield them. You have been given a divine assignment. Step into it. The world is waiting. The kingdom is calling. The enemy is trembling. The world has its own definition of power. It tells you that power is found in wealth, status, influence, and control. It teaches that power belongs to the rich, the famous, and those who hold political authority. It glorifies dominance, manipulation, and self-exaltation. But the power of this world is fleeting. It is fragile. It can be taken away in an instant. True power, the kind that cannot be shaken, the kind that transforms lives, the kind that moves mountains, is spiritual. It is not found in titles or possessions. It does not come from human effort. It is not built on connections or material gain. True power comes from God alone. Jesus made this clear when he spoke to his disciples. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. This is not just a comforting verse, it is a declaration of war. It is a divine reminder that the power we carry is not natural, it is supernatural. It did not originate from us, it was given to us by God himself. And this power is not weak or limited. Jesus did not say he gave us power over some of the enemy's schemes. He did not say we would have authority over a portion of the darkness. He said, I give you power over all the power of the enemy. That means there is no demonic attack, no stronghold, no spiritual resistance that is greater than the authority Christ has given us. Yet why do so many believers live as though they are powerless? Why do those who have been called to reign in life walk around like victims? It is because power that is not activated remains dormant. You can be given a sword, but if you never wield it, you will still be defenseless. You can be given the keys to a kingdom, but if you never use them, you will still live like a slave. You can be crowned as royalty, but if you never step onto the throne, you will still live as a beggar. Many believers have been given divine power, but they are not walking in it. They have been handed spiritual authority, but they are not using it. The enemy is not stronger than them. He has simply convinced them that they are weak. But today, that deception is broken. The power of God is not just about performing miracles or casting out demons. It is about walking in divine authority in every area of life. It is the power to break generational curses. It is the power to shift atmospheres. It is the power to speak of life where there was once death, to bring healing where there was once pain, to release hope where there was once despair. It is the power to stand firm when everything around you is shaking. It is the power to trample over every attack of the enemy without fear. And this power is not reserved for a select few. It is not just for pastors, prophets, or church leaders. It is for every believer who chooses to walk in faith. But power must be activated. God will not force you to use the authority He has given you. He will not make you walk in your divine assignment. He has already provided everything you need. The question is, will you step into it? Will you stop waiting for power to come from the outside when God has already placed it within you? Will you rise up and use the weapons that heaven has given you? The enemy is not afraid of passive Christians. He is not threatened by those who simply believe in Jesus, but never act on His word. But the moment you recognize the power inside of you, the moment you choose to walk in the authority that Christ has given, everything changes. Darkness trembles. Chains break. The impossible becomes possible. So I ask you again, what is real power? It is not found in the world. It is not given by men. Real power comes from God. And if you are in Christ, that power is already inside you. If God has given us power, if He has declared that we have authority over all the power of the enemy, if He has assured us that nothing shall by any means hurt us, then why do so many believers live in fear? Why do those who have been chosen to reign walk through life feeling weak, afraid, and powerless? The answer is simple. Fear is a deception. It is the enemy's most effective weapon because it does not have to be real to control you. It only has to be believed. Fear is a lie whispered into your mind until you accept it as truth. It tells you that you are too weak to fight. It tells you that you are unqualified, unworthy, and incapable. It convinces you that stepping out in faith will lead to failure, that speaking with authority will bring rejection, that walking in power will invite too much opposition. Fear is not just an emotion. It is a strategy from the pits of hell designed to keep you bound. Because the moment you realize that the power inside you is greater than anything coming against you, the enemy loses control over your life. Many believers live in fear because they have forgotten who they are. They see themselves as small, as insignificant, as ordinary, when in reality, they are warriors. They have been given spiritual weapons, but they do not use them. They have been granted divine authority, but they do not exercise it. They have been crowned as sons and daughters of the Most High, but they still live as if they are slaves. The truth is, the enemy does not attack people who are weak. He attacks those who are dangerous. The reason you face so much spiritual warfare is not because you are powerless, but because you are powerful. The enemy sees your potential. He knows the damage you will cause to his kingdom the moment you step into your divine authority. And his greatest fear is that you will wake up and realize who you truly are. But today, fear is broken. The chains that have held you back are shattered. The lie that says you are not strong enough, not bold enough, not spiritual enough, it is destroyed. You were never meant to live in fear. You were created to walk in power, love, and a sound mind. It is time to silence the voice of fear. It is time to reject every lie the enemy has spoken over your life. It is time to stand firm in the authority that God has given you. Fear has held you back for too long. It has stolen your confidence, silenced your voice, and kept you from stepping into the fullness of your calling. But no more. The time for hesitation is over. The time for second-guessing is done. You have been given power, and it is time to use it. The enemy is trembling because he knows that once you activate your authority, nothing will be able to stop you. Power is not something that simply exists within you, it must be activated. You can have access to electricity, but if you never flip the switch, you will remain in darkness. You can hold a sword, but if you never raise it, you will still be defenseless. Many believers have been given divine authority, yet they walk through life as if they have none, simply because they have not activated the power that God has already placed inside them. The question is not whether you have power, the question is whether you are using it. The first key to activating your power is faith. Faith is the foundation upon which all spiritual authority is built. If you do not believe you have power, you will never use it. The enemy knows this, which is why his first attack is always on your mind. He wants to convince you that you are weak, that you are ordinary, that you are incapable. But Jesus made it clear. These signs shall follow them that believe. Not those who wait, not those who doubt, those who believe. The moment you believe in the authority God has given you, fear loses its grip, and power begins to flow through you. The second key is prayer. Prayer is not just a religious ritual. It is a supernatural transaction. It is your direct access to heaven's power. A prayerless believer is a powerless believer. If you are not praying, you are sitting on your authority, allowing the enemy to advance unchecked. Every great move of God in Scripture began with prayer. Before Jesus performed miracles, he prayed. Before the Holy Spirit descended at Pentecost, the disciples prayed. Before Paul and Silas broke free from prison, they prayed. Prayer is not just communication with God. It is the battlefield where power is released. If you want to walk in authority, you must commit yourself to a life of prayer. The third key is obedience. Power follows obedience. Many believers are waiting for power to manifest before they move, but God is waiting for them to move before he releases power. When Moses stretched out his staff, the Red Sea parted. When Peter stepped out of the boat, he walked on water. When the Israelites marched around Jericho, the walls fell. Power does not fall from the sky. It is activated when you step into it. If God tells you to move, move. If he tells you to speak, speak. If he tells you to take a step of faith, take it. Fear says, wait until you feel ready. Faith says, move, and God will show his power. The power of God is already inside you. You do not need to beg for it. You do not need to wait for a special moment to receive it. It has already been given. The only question is, will you activate it? Will you flip the switch, pick up your weapons, and walk in the authority that is already yours? The enemy is hoping you stay passive. He wants you to remain silent. He wants you to doubt. But today, you break free. Today, you activate your power. The enemy is attacking you because he sees the warrior inside you. He knows what you will become if you ever step into your full authority. He knows the chains that will be broken. He knows the fire that will be released. The only thing standing between you and your power is fear. But today, fear breaks. No more hesitation. No more waiting. No more delay. Now is the time. Now is the moment. Activate your power. Activate the notification bell. Subscribe now and type, "I am ready," in the comments. Let's shake the kingdom of darkness together. Let's pray. Chosen ones. Have you shared a dream so dear to your heart, only to watch it unravel before your eyes? Have you spoken your deepest intentions aloud, only to feel an invisible resistance, as if the very act of revealing them drained them of their power? There is an ancient wisdom, one that the spiritually awakened have always known. Silence is a shield. It is a sacred container that protects what is still in the process of becoming. When you speak too soon, you expose your vision to forces that may not support it. doubt, skepticism, envy, or even well-meaning voices that unknowingly plant seeds of hesitation in your mind. But when you keep your dreams guarded in stillness, you give them the space to grow strong, undisturbed by external interference. The Bible reminds us, "Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin." Your dreams are like fragile seeds planted in the soil. A farmer does not dig up the seed every day to see if it is growing. He trusts the process, knowing that in the right time, the roots will strengthen and the plant will break through the surface. In the same way, the visions God has placed in your heart need protection, not premature exposure. Nehemiah's story is a powerful testament to the wisdom of silent preparation and the importance of moving with discernment. When he set out to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, he did not rush to announce his plans to the world. Instead, he moved in secrecy, taking time to assess the situation, pray, and seek divine guidance before taking action. He understood that not everyone would support his mission, and that opposition was inevitable. True enough, resistance arose in the form of Sanballat and Tobiah, men who not only ridiculed his efforts but actively sought to undermine his work. However, Nehemiah was not shaken by their words, nor did he allow their distractions to pull him away from what God had called him to do. He knew that his purpose did not require validation from others. It only required obedience and faith in God's timing. Rather than engaging in arguments or defending himself against his critics, Nehemiah remained steadfast. He let his actions speak louder than words, trusting that his success would be evident in time. His approach was not one of loud proclamations or seeking public approval, but of careful strategy, unwavering faith, and reliance on God's divine favor. Against all odds, the walls of Jerusalem were restored, not because Nehemiah sought recognition, but because he trusted in the process and in the power of silent preparation. His victory was not in making noise, but in moving wisely, allowing his faith and diligence to bring forth the results that no enemy could deny. Nehemiah's story teaches us a vital lesson. When God gives us a vision, we must protect it. Not every idea, dream, or purpose is meant to be shared prematurely. When we move in silence, we create a space where our plans can develop without interference. We stay focused without being burdened by the doubts and opinions of others. In a world that often pressures us to broadcast every step of our journey to seek external validation, to prove our worth, or to gain approval, Nehemiah reminds us that true progress happens in the unseen moments. It is in the quiet, behind the scenes, where faith, preparation, and obedience align to bring forth victory in God's perfect timing. His life is proof that when we trust in God's process and move with wisdom, the fruits of our labor will be undeniable. We do not need to convince anyone of what God has called us to do. Our results will speak for themselves. Like Nehemiah, we must learn to guard our purpose, to work diligently in the background, and to trust that when the time is right, God will reveal our success in a way that no one can ignore. Joseph's story also is a lesson on the cost of speaking too soon. Gifted with prophetic dreams from God, Joseph saw visions of his future greatness, where his brothers would one day bow before him. In his youthful eagerness, he shared these dreams openly, believing they would be met with understanding. Instead, his words stirred jealousy and resentment among his brothers, leading them to betray him, throw him into a pit, and sell him into slavery. What could have been a direct path to his destiny became a long and painful journey filled with trials, false accusations, imprisonment, and years of uncertainty. Though God's plan for Joseph remained intact, his early revelation of his dreams brought unnecessary hardship. His story serves as a reminder that not everyone is ready to hear what God has placed in our hearts. Some will doubt, others will mock, and some, even unknowingly, may become obstacles on our path. Wisdom teaches us that not every vision is meant to be shared prematurely. Just as a seed needs time to take root before it emerges from the soil, Our dreams require quiet cultivation before they are revealed. Had Joseph kept his dreams close to his heart, he may have avoided the betrayal that altered the course of his journey. However, despite the setbacks, God's purpose for him was ultimately fulfilled. He rose to power in Egypt, saved nations from famine, and was eventually reconciled with his brothers. His life is proof that what God ordains cannot be stopped, but it is also a lesson in discernment. Timing matters, and silence can be a form of divine protection. When we trust God's process, rather than seeking immediate recognition, our destiny unfolds in perfect alignment with His will. Silence is far more than the absence of words. It is a powerful shield that protects our dreams, our purpose, and our spiritual journey. When we speak too soon, we expose our visions to forces that may not support them. Doubt, skepticism, and even jealousy can act as unseen weights, pulling our aspirations off course before they have had the chance to take root. Just as a young plant is vulnerable before its roots are firmly established, our dreams require time, care, and a period of quiet growth before they are ready to face the world. The Bible teaches us that wisdom is found in restraint, reminding us in Proverbs 17:27-28 that the one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. Keeping quiet does not mean lacking confidence. On the contrary, it is an act of discernment, a way to safeguard what is still growing. A farmer does not dig up a seed every day to check its progress because he understands that growth happens beneath the surface, where no one can see. He trusts that in the right time, the roots will strengthen, and the plant will break through the soil. In the same way, the visions God has placed in our hearts require protection, not premature exposure. Sharing our plans too soon can invite doubt, criticism, or interference, making it harder for us to stay focused on what God has called us to do. Moving in wisdom means recognizing that not everyone is meant to hear or understand our purpose. Some people, even with good intentions, may plant seeds of doubt or distraction that lead us away from our divine path. They may question our abilities, encourage us to take an easier route, or suggest compromises that weaken our faith. This is why we must be careful about who we allow into the sacred space of our dreams. Nehemiah, for example, rebuilt Jerusalem's walls in silence, keeping his plans hidden from his enemies until the right time. Because he moved with discretion, he was able to complete his mission without unnecessary obstacles. Joseph, on the other hand, spoke too soon about the dreams God had given him, and as a result, his journey was filled with hardship and betrayal. Though God's plan for Joseph was never destroyed, his path became more difficult because he revealed his vision before the appointed time. Silence is not weakness. It is strength, wisdom, and a form of spiritual protection. It is a sacred space where faith is built, purpose is refined, and destiny is nurtured. Just as a sculptor works on his masterpiece in private before revealing it to the world, we must allow God to shape our journey in the unseen before stepping into the fullness of His plan. When we move in wisdom and patience, we allow God's timing to work in our favor, ensuring that our dreams flourish without unnecessary resistance. Trust in His process, guard your vision, and know that when the time is right, what is meant for you will come to pass in a way that no one can deny. Jesus demonstrated the power of silence in the most pivotal moments of His life, showing that true strength does not always require words. Before His crucifixion, when He stood before Pilate, falsely accused and surrounded by voices demanding His fate, He did not argue, plead, or seek validation. Instead, He remained silent. Matthew 27:14 tells us, "But Jesus made no reply, not even to a single charge, to the great amazement of the governor." His silence was not weakness, it was power. It was a profound declaration that truth does not always need to be defended, for it is upheld by divine authority. When we are certain of our purpose, We do not need to convince others. Jesus understood that the will of God would prevail, regardless of human opinions, accusations, or opposition. His restraint teaches us a crucial lesson. Not every situation requires a response, and sometimes silence is the greatest act of wisdom. In our own lives, we often feel the need to explain, justify, or prove ourselves to those who misunderstand us. But Jesus shows us that when we walk in divine purpose, we do not need the approval of man. His silence before the storm of his crucifixion was an act of faith, trust, and surrender to God's plan. Likewise, we must learn to discern when to speak and when to be still, when to defend ourselves, and when to let God fight our battles. The world may demand an explanation, but when we are aligned with God's will, our obedience speaks louder than any words ever could. True power is not in noise but in quiet confidence, knowing that God's plan will be fulfilled in His perfect timing. Trusting the process means believing that everything is unfolding in divine timing, even when we cannot see the full picture. In a world that values instant results, it can be difficult to wait for God's plan to unfold. We may feel the urge to rush ahead, to force outcomes, or to seek validation from others. But true faith requires patience. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Just as a seed takes time to grow beneath the soil before it emerges, our dreams and purpose require unseen preparation before they manifest. Many of the greatest figures in the Bible had to endure long periods of waiting before stepping into their calling. Joseph spent years in prison before becoming a ruler in Egypt. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before leading the Israelites to freedom. David was anointed king but did not take the throne immediately. He faced battles, rejection, and hardships before his destiny was fulfilled. Their stories remind us that God's delays are not His denials. Every challenge, every season of waiting, and every moment of uncertainty serves a greater purpose, shaping us into the people we need to be for the blessings ahead. When we rush the process, we risk stepping into something before we are truly ready. Imagine a tree trying to bear fruit before its roots are strong. It would not survive the storms that come its way. In the same way, when we trust God's timing, we allow our faith, wisdom, and character to develop so that we can sustain the blessings He has prepared for us. Isaiah 40:31 encourages us, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Waiting is not passive. It is an active period of growth, refinement, and alignment with God's will. If you find yourself in a season of waiting, do not be discouraged. Your time will come, and when it does, it will be undeniable. The doors that God opens no one can shut, and the blessings He has prepared for you will arrive at the perfect moment. Until then, trust, prepare, and remain steadfast in faith. What is meant for you will not pass you by, and when God's appointed time arrives, everything will fall into place exactly as it was destined to be. If this message resonates with you, let's subscribe, share, and comment 7777 below as a bold declaration that you are ready to walk in wisdom, trust divine timing, and allow God to unfold His plan without interference. Your destiny is waiting. Will you protect it? Chosen ones, today I want to share with you something powerful, something that many of us overlook, yet it holds the key to a profound transformation in your life. Have you ever wondered why your body keeps sending signals? That stubborn back pain, that constant neck tension, that overwhelming fatigue. What if these signals are more than just physical symptoms? Today, I'm not merely talking about physical health. I'm talking about the deep, mysterious connection between your body and your spirit. You see, the Bible tells us that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, a sacred dwelling place, carefully designed by God Himself. And just like a finely tuned instrument, your body manifests what your soul and spirit are quietly processing. Think about those moments when your chest tightens before a big decision, or how your shoulders ache from carrying burdens you never speak of. These aren't just coincidences, they're messages. Your spirit is calling for your attention, urging you to pause and listen. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal how each part of your body speaks to you through pain, tension, and discomfort. You'll discover how the pain you've been experiencing can guide you toward deeper healing, highlighting areas of your life that desperately need spiritual restoration. This isn't just about physical healing. It's about tuning into your body's language, a language deeply connected to your soul and your relationship with God. So, Chosen One, activate the notification bell, subscribe now, and join me on this transformative journey, because understanding these signals could change your life forever. Your headache. A message from your mind. Let's pause to consider that persistent headache, the one that always seems to strike just when your mind is filled with worry and anxiety. It's not mere coincidence. Your mind, much like a delicate cup, can hold only so many burdens, worries, and thoughts before it inevitably overflows. Each anxious thought, each replayed conversation, every sleepless night of overthinking adds another drop to this already full vessel. And when your mind becomes overloaded, the overflow comes not as tears or words, but as physical pain. The pounding in your head isn't just a headache. It's your spirit's urgent cry for relief. How often have you found yourself awake at night, replaying conversations, stressing over finances, or fearing what tomorrow may bring? The Bible gently reminds us, do not be anxious about anything. Yet our minds often race with anxiety over everything, from bills and family to career and relationships. You feel overwhelmed because you're attempting to control the uncontrollable, carrying burdens that only God was meant to shoulder. Medication can mask the symptoms temporarily, much like wiping up water without turning off the faucet. But unless the root issue is addressed, the pain will return. Jesus lovingly invites, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He spoke not only of physical exhaustion but also of mental overload, the burdens that weigh down your thoughts and rob you of peace. Your mind, like a delicate glass, can hold only so much worry before overflowing. It's time to stop filling it beyond capacity. Today, choose to release your worries. When troubling thoughts come, acknowledge them, but then entrust them to God. Rather than allowing anxieties to settle permanently in your mind, pass them over to the one who is able to bear what you cannot. Practice this moment by moment. Whenever worries invade, pause, breathe deeply, and pray simply, "Lord, this is beyond me. I give it to you." Understand that a headache is not your natural state. It is a signal, a red flag telling you it's time to unload. Medication may mask the symptom temporarily, but true healing begins when you surrender the heavy burdens of worry to God's capable hands. Remember, your mind was designed to dream, plan, and thrive, not to endlessly suffer. Let go of the illusion of control and embrace the freedom found in trusting God. Chosen One, today choose peace. Your mind and body will thank you. Your neck. The hidden storage of hurt. Have you wondered why your neck often feels stiff, tense, or painful, almost as if you're carrying a burden that's too heavy to bear? This isn't merely physical discomfort. It's your body's way of speaking to you, calling your attention to something deeper within. Your neck, like a bridge connecting your head to your heart, quietly holds everything you refuse to face openly. Each resentment, each swallowed hurt, each word you held back. These hidden feelings do not vanish. Instead, they silently accumulate right there in your neck, creating tension and pain that grows with time. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you said, "I'll just swallow it," when someone hurt you deeply? Did you notice that instant tightening at the base of your neck? When you're forced to accept something you disagree with, where do you first feel the discomfort? Again, it tightens your neck. And those moments when tears threaten to spill, but you push them down. Determined to appear strong, your neck silently bears the emotional burden. This physical manifestation is your spirit's way of telling you, enough. It's time to release what you've been suppressing. Yet many of us continue to mask the pain, spending fortunes on massages, medications, and treatments. These approaches might temporarily relieve discomfort, but the core issue remains unresolved. Real healing begins within. It starts with forgiveness. Forgiveness is powerful medicine because it liberates you, freeing you from emotional weights you've unknowingly carried far too long. Jesus knew the profound impact of forgiveness, urging us not as an option, but as a necessity. Forgiveness is your liberation, an essential step towards spiritual and physical healing. Imagine this exercise. As you wake each morning, gently rotate your neck and speak these words softly but firmly. Lord, today I choose to forgive. Today I let go of what I have been holding on to. This practice might seem simple, but it holds immense spiritual power. Forgiveness doesn't merely free the other person, it frees you first. Every act of forgiveness is an act of liberation, a release from invisible chains that weigh heavily on your neck. Moreover, gratitude amplifies this healing. Gratitude shifts your attention from the pain to blessings, from grievances to grace. As you lay your head to rest tonight, thank God genuinely for at least 3 things, no matter how small. Gratitude releases spiritual tension, easing the burden stored in your neck, and brings a lasting peace that medication alone could never offer. Shoulders. You're not meant to carry the world. You often felt as though your shoulders are weighed down, aching under the immense pressure of life's endless responsibilities. It's no mere illusion. Your shoulders are telling a deeper truth. They carry not just physical burdens, but the weight of every responsibility, worry, and expectation you place upon yourself. Bills piling up, family issues demanding your attention, job pressures, household tasks, and the countless expectations you silently agree to bear. All these weigh heavily upon you, gradually crushing your peace and comfort. This relentless pressure isn't imaginary. Your shoulders are literally protesting, reminding you that some weights were never meant to be yours. Remember Jesus' comforting words, "My yoke is easy, and my burden is light." God never intended you to bear these heavy loads alone. Yet many of us mistakenly equate strength with independence, believing that asking for help is weakness, that managing everything alone somehow proves our worth. But God never designed your shoulders to carry the entire weight of life's challenges. Those constant aches, the persistent tension you feel, they're gentle warnings from your body, indicating that something must change. Your shoulders are honest. They speak what your heart often tries to hide. Enough. I can't carry this alone. Picture this clearly. Imagine you're wearing an enormous heavy backpack filled with your burdens, stresses, and responsibilities. Now visualize slowly removing that heavy load, placing it down gently. Feel how your shoulders lighten instantly. This is precisely what your body desires, freedom from unnecessary weight. The words of Jesus echo powerfully here. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. He invites you to surrender what you cannot control, to entrust to Him what overwhelms you. Learn to delegate, to ask for support from those around you, and most importantly, to trust God with the responsibilities only He can handle. Real strength isn't about enduring endless pressure. It's found in acknowledging your limits, seeking support, and embracing the peace God promises. Chosen one, today is the day to remove that invisible heavy backpack filled with burdens you've wrongly claimed as yours. Lay it down gently at the feet of Jesus. Stand upright once again, shoulders free, spirit lifted, ready to embrace the life God truly intended for you. Your chest, the center of your emotions. Chosen one, your chest is more than just a physical part of your body. It's It's the sacred center where all your emotions reside. Have you ever noticed how strongly you feel emotions right there, in your chest? When joy fills you, your heart leaps. When sadness overtakes you, it's as if a heavy stone presses down, making it hard to breathe. Anxiety grips your chest with a tightness that refuses to let go, and fear races through your heart, quickening your pulse. It's no coincidence. Your chest is your emotional core, faithfully holding every unexpressed feeling, every swallowed tear, and every hidden hurt. From childhood, many of us learned that expressing emotion meant showing weakness, that crying was shameful and sadness should be concealed. Yet Jesus himself, the perfect example of humanity, freely expressed emotions. He laughed, he wept, he grieved openly. So why do we try so hard to conceal what God intended us to feel? Your emotions were never meant to be hidden away, silently building pressure within you. They were created to flow naturally, to be shared and released, bringing healing and clarity. Maybe you've experienced those unexplained chest pains, undergoing countless tests only to hear doctors say, "Everything looks fine." That's because the root is deeper, spiritual and emotional, not merely physical. The chest pain is a message, a reminder from your body that it's time to let go, to speak what you've been holding back, and to allow yourself to truly feel again. To heal your chest, start by acknowledging your emotions without judgment. Allow yourself to cry if tears come. Allow laughter to escape when joy arises. Above all, don't fear vulnerability. Even Jesus openly expressed grief and joy alike. Worship is another powerful remedy, your voice releasing hidden pain and filling your heart with peace beyond understanding. Sing out your hurts, praise through your fears. Each expression of gratitude lifts emotional weight, replacing heaviness with freedom. Chosen one, God didn't create your heart as a vault for pain. He made it a temple of feeling, healing, and life. Let your emotions flow and watch how your chest opens, bringing renewal to both body and spirit. Your spine, carrying invisible burdens. Do you felt that persistent ache in your back? That relentless heaviness running along your spine, whispering that you're carrying far more than you should? Your spine isn't merely a structure supporting your physical body. It's silently carrying the invisible burdens of your soul. Worries, fears, insecurities, expectations all stacked heavily upon each vertebra. The upper part of your spine, close to your shoulders, bears the weight of expectations placed upon you by family, friends, and society. It tightens painfully when you try too hard to be someone others want you to be, losing sight of who God truly created you to become. Then comes the middle of your spine, the place where you store self-imposed pressures, your inner critic constantly whispering you're not doing enough, pushing you relentlessly toward perfection, performance, and approval. When this area aches, it's your body reminding you to ease up on yourself, to offer compassion instead of criticism. Finally, the lower part of your spine, this area holds fears about your future, financial insecurities, relationship worries, and uncertainty about life's direction. When anxiety about tomorrow overwhelms you, your lower back tightens in protest, signaling that you're carrying burdens you were never meant to bear. Yet, there is good news. God did not create your spine to bend beneath these invisible burdens. You were designed to stand tall in strength and dignity, not to collapse under stress and pressure. Jesus lovingly reminds us, "My yoke is easy, and my burden is light," calling you to lay down the weights that belong to Him alone. You don't need to carry worries about problems you didn't create, guilt for decisions that aren't yours, or responsibilities you cannot possibly fulfill on your own. Begin today by identifying these heavy loads, expectations, self-criticism, fears, and gently release them through prayer. Stand up, stretch your spine upward, and visualize each invisible burden falling away. Speak this truth aloud. Lord, today I surrender to you everything I was not meant to carry. Allow your spine to return to its natural posture, upright, strong, and free, exactly as God designed it, unburdened and ready to support you as you step confidently into the purpose He has lovingly prepared. Your legs and feet. Fear of moving forward. Chosen one, have you noticed how often your legs feel heavy, your feet sore and weary, as if chained by invisible burdens? Your legs and feet are not just physical parts of your body. They are powerful symbols of your journey, responsible for every step toward your destiny. But when fear grips your heart, when uncertainty clouds your vision, your legs and feet are often the first to respond. Suddenly, even simple steps become challenging, and moving forward feels impossible. This isn't mere physical exhaustion, it's your spirit crying out, signaling the fears, doubts, and insecurities you've unknowingly allowed to paralyze your progress. Consider this carefully. Each step you take is an act of courage, a testimony of faith in the path God has laid before you. But when fear overtakes your heart, your body protests, urging you to confront what's holding you back. Your legs, which God designed to propel you toward purpose, become weighed down by uncertainty and anxiety about the future. Your feet ache because deep down, your heart resists taking the next step, perhaps afraid of making the wrong choice or facing unknown outcomes. Think of Abraham, who bravely stepped into the unknown, trusting God's promise without a clear destination. Or Peter, who stepped onto stormy waters despite his fear, focusing solely on the voice calling him forward. Their faith overcame fear, teaching us a powerful lesson. Movement, even when uncertain, breaks the chains of doubt. Today, it's time to release yourself from emotional and spiritual paralysis. Start by honestly identifying the fears holding you back. What decision have you avoided? What change are you resisting? What future uncertainties keep your feet firmly planted, unable to move freely? Acknowledge these fears openly, then entrust them to God through prayer. Now, chosen one, I invite you to perform a simple yet powerful exercise. Remove your shoes, feel the solid earth beneath your feet, and take slow, deliberate steps forward. With each step, speak this truth. I release my fears. Each step I take brings me closer to my purpose. Remember, God created your legs and feet to carry you forward, not to trap you in fear. Today, choose courage over uncertainty, action over paralysis, and trust that with God guiding each step, your journey will always lead to peace, purpose, and freedom. Your body is an incredible temple of the Holy Spirit, communicating in a language rich with meaning. Listen carefully. Those signals pain, tension, fatigue. They are not enemies but messengers. By understanding the divine connection between your body, mind, and spirit, you can access true healing. Give to God what is beyond your strength. Forgive freely, express openly, and walk confidently toward your destiny. Remember, you were never meant to carry it all alone. Let this be the day you start listening, responding, and walking in the freedom Christ has already won for you. May your body become your friend again, a sacred temple of peace, strength, and spiritual growth. If this message resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to spread this divine wisdom and uplift more souls who, like you, have been called for a special purpose. Remember, you are not alone. Together, we walk in the freedom Christ has already won for us. Until next time, remain blessed, chosen one. They never saw it coming. They laughed when you struggled. They doubted you when you tried. They mocked you when you failed. And now they're choking on their own arrogance, watching you walk away as their world crumbles. This isn't just an exit, it's a reckoning. They never thought you'd break free. They believed they had you trapped, locked inside their twisted little game. You were their convenience, their safety net, their endless source of energy. They never realized the power you held, the strength you concealed beneath your silence. Because the chosen ones, we don't just leave. We erase our presence so completely that they have no choice but to face the cold, bitter truth. Without us, they are nothing. They'll call it dramatic. They'll pretend to be shocked. They'll whisper about how you changed, how you turned cold. But the truth, you didn't change. You woke up. You realized that staying wasn't loyalty. It was a slow death, and survival meant choosing yourself over the ones who only loved you when they could use you. Here's the ugly truth. Most people don't miss you. They miss what you did for them. It's not love they're grieving. It's their loss of control. The comfort you once gave them is gone, and now they're left with the emptiness they tried to bury beneath your sacrifice. But the best part? You didn't leave with anger. You didn't beg. You didn't scream. You just walked out. And that's what haunts them the most. Because silence is the loudest goodbye, and indifference is the most brutal revenge. This isn't just about walking away. This is about reclaiming your power. The power they pretended you didn't have. The power they tried to drain from you. But here's what they never understood. A chosen one's power doesn't fade. It evolves. They're stuck in the ruins of their own delusion, while you rise. And to you, the one who finally walked away, the one who refused to be caged, this is your moment. If you've been here from the start or just found your way into this space, know this: you are not alone. This is where the ones who broke free come together. So if you're ready to stand firm in your decision, if you're ready to never look back and to own the power they never wanted you to realize, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop 77 in the comments to mark the moment you chose yourself over them. And now, let's break it down, step by step. Because trust me, if you're truly one of the chosen ones, you'll feel it. The pull, the truth, the fire. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll never question your decision again. Number 1. You were there but never seen. They didn't lose you. They lost the privilege of your presence. And now, all they have left is the echo of what they never appreciated. They sit in disbelief, wondering how you could walk away so easily. But the truth is, you were already gone long before you left. You had been fading for a long time, slipping away in quiet moments, in forced smiles, in sighs that went unnoticed. You were there, but never truly seen. You existed in the background, a steady presence they relied on but never acknowledged. They mistook your silence for submission, your patience for acceptance, your endurance for an obligation to stay. You were expected to be there, to give, to sacrifice, to bend, because that's what you always did. They never questioned your presence because they assumed it was permanent. But what they failed to realize is that no one stays where they are invisible forever. Every moment they overlooked you, every time they dismissed your needs, every instance where they made you feel small, those were the cracks forming in the foundation. And by the time they noticed, it was too late. You had already withdrawn, your heart had already left, and when you finally walked away, it wasn't an impulsive decision, it was inevitable. Now, they sit in the emptiness they created, forced to confront the truth they never wanted to face. You weren't a convenience. You weren't an afterthought. You were the light they took for granted. And now that you're gone, they are left with nothing but the cold reality of what they lost. And this time, you're not coming back. Number 2, they drained your light, then cried in the darkness. They thought your light was infinite, like the sun always there, always shining, always giving without question. They took from you endlessly, basking in your warmth, feeding off your energy, using your strength to hold themselves together. You were the fire that kept them warm, the steady glow that lit their path, and they never once stopped to wonder what would happen if you had nothing left to give. They assumed you would always be there, strong and unwavering, because that's who you were, the one who carried the weight, the one who solved the problems, the one who made life easier. They never noticed when you started to dim. They were too busy enjoying your light, too consumed with their own comfort, to see that the fire inside you was flickering, that the exhaustion was creeping in, that you were running on empty. And then, one day, the light went out. Not with a dramatic explosion, not with a fiery storm, but with quiet finality. You had given all you had, and there was nothing left. And suddenly, they were left in the darkness, lost and panicked, struggling to navigate a world without your warmth. They didn't miss you, they missed what you did for them. They missed the way you softened their chaos, the way you carried what they refused to hold, the way you made everything easier. But here's the painful truth. Light is not free. It needs care, respect, and reciprocity. And when those things are missing, even the brightest flame will burn out. Now they sit in the cold, desperate for the glow they once took for granted. But you're gone, and this time they'll have to learn to survive the darkness on their own. Number 3. Shattering the illusion. Escaping the cage they built for you. They didn't fear losing you. They feared you, realizing you never needed them in the first place. The cage they built around you was never made of bars. It was woven from pretty words, love, loyalty, duty, wrapped in the illusion of safety. They made it seem like protection, like something built to keep you safe. But the truth, it was never about your safety. It was about keeping you small. They needed you predictable, manageable, easy to control, a piece that fit neatly into their carefully crafted puzzle, never disrupting their world. You weren't supposed to think beyond the walls they placed around you. You weren't supposed to question the limits they set, but you did. At first, it was just a feeling, a tightness in your chest, a whisper in the back of your mind telling you something wasn't right. You ignored it, convincing yourself this was just how things were. Maybe if you shrank yourself just a little more, if you became just a little quieter, you could make it work. But then, something shifted. Maybe it was a single moment of clarity. Maybe it was 1,000 little moments of dismissal, disrespect, and being unseen. But suddenly, the cage wasn't invisible anymore. You saw it for what it was, a prison disguised as a home. And once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. So, you started pushing, testing the walls, reclaiming space, becoming who you were always meant to be. And that's when the panic set in. They saw you changing, growing, refusing to be contained, and they hated it. Not because they loved you, but because they loved controlling you. Now they call you selfish, ungrateful, even cruel. But let's be clear, you didn't leave them. You left the version of yourself that fit inside their cage. You left the silence, the smallness, the endless need for their approval. And the final bitter truth? They can't follow you. They were never willing to grow, never willing to break their own chains. So now all they can do is watch as you rise, knowing that they never had the power. You were just waiting to take it back. Number 4. How walking away took their power. Their power over you was never real. It was an illusion. And the moment you walked away, you shattered it. For so long, they played their game well, wrapping their control in pretty words, concern, loyalty, love. But make no mistake, it was never love. It was power disguised as care. Every decision you made was quietly influenced. Every boundary you set was blurred just enough to keep you trapped. And every time you doubted them, they fed you just enough validation to keep you coming back. They believed they had you locked in, convinced that you would always seek their approval, that their opinions could shape your choices, that you needed them. That belief was their safety net, their illusion of power. But the moment you walked away, you ripped it to shreds. They weren't prepared for this. They thought guilt, obligation, and the fear they planted in you would keep you bound to them forever. They miscalculated. They underestimated you. Because the moment you realized that their power only existed as long as you allowed it, it was over. You didn't leave in anger. You didn't leave for revenge. You left because you outgrew the lies. You saw through the manipulation, the guilt trips, the mind games. You stopped bending, stopped shrinking, stopped second-guessing yourself just to fit into their world. You reclaimed yourself. And that was the most dangerous thing you could have done in their eyes. Now they are scrambling, lost in a world where you no longer play by their rules. They sit in disbelief, asking themselves how this happened. But the answer is simple. Their power was never real. It only worked because you let it. And now that you're gone, their empire of control has collapsed into nothing. They built their strength on the illusion that you would never leave. And you just proved them wrong. Number 5. The loss that leaves scars when nothing can replace you. Some losses are temporary, but others leave scars so deep that nothing ever grows there again. Your absence isn't just noticed, it's felt. When you left, it wasn't just a goodbye. It was a rupture, a tear in the fabric of their world. The kind of absence that doesn't fade with time. It lingers, it echoes, it haunts. They thought they could move on, replace you, patch up the gap with someone new. But some spaces can't be filled. You weren't just another person in their life. You were the glue that held everything together, the steady force that kept things from falling apart, the one who made sense of their chaos, who brought light into their dull existence. You were the quit foundation, the overlooked constant, and now that you're gone, that foundation is gone too. They never saw you that way before. You were just there, like air, unnoticed until it's missing, like gravity, never questioned until the fall. They assumed you'd always be around, that no matter how much they ignored you, used you, overlooked you, you'd still show up, still pour into them, still hold everything together. But now they're choking on the emptiness. Your absence is loud. It rings in every awkward silence, in every mistake they can't fix, in every hollow moment where something just feels wrong. They try to drown it out, to cover it up with distractions, with substitutes, with empty reassurances that they'll be fine. But they won't. Because deep down they know the truth. They lost something irreplaceable. They don't just miss you. They miss the version of their life that worked because of you. And now, they're left with nothing but the cold realization that they had something extraordinary, and they ruined it. They thought life would go on seamlessly, that someone else could take your place. But what they're realizing slowly, painfully, is that your absence isn't just a gap. It's a wound, one that won't heal, one they can't ignore, one they'll be forced to live with day after day, as a reminder of what they lost when they let you go. Number 6, they fed off your strength. Now they're starving. They never truly loved you. They loved the way you held their world together while yours was quietly falling apart. They fed off your resilience as if it were endless, as if you were some unshakable force placed in their life to absorb every storm they refused to face. When their lives spiraled, they ran to you. When their emotions crashed, they leaned on you. When everything was chaos, they turned to you to fix it. You were their foundation, their shelter, their quiet savior. But they never stopped to ask who was holding you up. You made it look effortless, didn't you? You carried their burdens with a calm face, swallowed your struggles in silence, and kept everything running smoothly, no matter how much it drained you. And because you never broke, they assumed you never would. That was their mistake. They mistook your endurance for duty, your patience for permission. They believed your strength was something they could use rather than something you needed to protect. But resilience isn't infinite. It isn't a well that never runs dry. You gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left. And then, you finally walked away. You finally chose yourself over them. And in that moment, they didn't just lose a person, they lost their safety net. Now, the cracks are showing. The weight of their dysfunction. once hidden beneath your quiet sacrifices, is exposed. The same people who dismissed your struggles are now gasping for air, drowning in the very chaos you once managed for them. They thought they could depend on you forever, that you would always be there no matter how little they gave in return. They never imagined a world where they would have to stand on their own. But now, they have no choice. For the first time, they are forced to deal with the wreckage, the mess you shielded them from for far too long. Let them panic. Let them struggle. Because now, they're seeing what life looks like without the one person who held it all together. And this time, you're not coming back to save them. Number 7. They can imitate you, but they can't replace you. They thought they could replace you, that someone else could step in, fill the space you left, and life would go on as if you were never there. To them, your presence was just another role to be played, another script to be followed. But they were wrong. Dead wrong. Because when you left, you didn't just take your body, you took the one thing they could never recreate, your authenticity. They can try to mimic your words, repeat your actions, even attach themselves to someone who vaguely resembles you. But they're learning the hard way that authenticity isn't something you can fake, rent, or steal. It's either in you or it's not. And that's where they're drowning. They built their world on illusions, on pretending, on pleasing, on bending to fit whatever mold made them feel accepted. But you were different. You spoke what you meant and meant what you spoke. You saw what others ignored. You refused to be anything but yourself. That scared them. That challenged them. And instead of rising to meet you, they chose to take from you. Now the cracks in their world are showing. The forced laughter, the shallow conversations, the empty gestures, it's all hollow. No matter how hard they try, they can't recreate what made you special. Because what you brought wasn't just energy, it was depth. And that can't be copied. Now they're scrambling, filling their time with distractions, with stand-ins, with anything that numbs the realization creeping into their minds. You were one of one. The connection you gave, the presence you carried, the fire in your words, it wasn't just valuable. It was irreplaceable. And the worst part? They know it. They might act unbothered, might surround themselves with noise to drown out the silence your absence left behind. But deep down, they feel it. They feel the void where your authenticity used to be, the raw, unfiltered realness that made everything around you matter. And no matter how much they pretend, that truth will haunt them. Because at the end of the day, they didn't just lose a person. They lost the only real thing they had. Number 8. Your absence is their mirror, and they can't look away. The cruelest truth isn't being abandoned. It's realizing you were the reason someone left. Your walking away wasn't just a loss to them. It was a brutal awakening. They thought they could handle life without you. But the moment you left, everything changed. Not just because you were gone, but because your absence held up a mirror they were never ready to face. They always saw you as the one who would stay, the one who would clean up their messes, smooth over their mistakes, and hold their fragile world together while they took you for granted. But the second you walked away, they were left staring at the cracks they ignored for so long, the ones you had been holding together. They leaned on your strength so they wouldn't have to build their own. They used your wisdom to cover up their poor decisions. They relied on your kindness to excuse their selfishness. As long as you were there, they could deflect, distract, and pretend. But now the silence screams. Now the empty space exposes everything. Without you, the truth is undeniable. Your departure forced them to ask the questions they were never ready to face. Why didn't I appreciate them when I had the chance? Why did I push them so far that they had no choice but to leave? But the hardest question of all, what does it say about me that someone so loyal, so giving, so rare decided I wasn't worth staying for? That thought is poison, because it's one thing to be abandoned, It's another to realize that you earned it. You were their shield, the buffer between them and their own flaws. And now, with no one left to cover their mistakes, their reflection is unforgiving. The toxic cycles they thought they could run forever are now laid bare. The manipulation they used to control you? Useless. The illusion of power they held over you? Gone. And the worst part? It's too late to fix any of it. They lost the best thing they had, and now, every single day, they are haunted by one unshakable truth. They were the reason you left. Number 9. They gambled on your guilt and lost everything. The moment you stopped feeling guilty for choosing yourself was the moment they lost their last weapon against you. They thought they had you locked in not by force, not by words, but by guilt. They built their control around the belief that you would always feel obligated to stay, to keep giving, to keep sacrificing even at your own expense. They counted on the idea that no matter how much they drained you, you'd never have the heart to leave. And for a long time, their plan worked. The emotional weight they placed on your shoulders was never loud or obvious. It was quiet, calculated, a contract you never signed but were always expected to uphold. They made you feel like walking away was selfish, like choosing yourself was a betrayal. Every time you considered leaving, they fed you the same poison. After all I've done for you, you wouldn't just leave me like that. I thought you cared. And for a while, you believed it. You second-guessed yourself. You stayed when you should have left. You gave when you had nothing left. You let their expectations dictate your life because they convinced you that love, friendship, or loyalty meant putting yourself last. But then something shifted, a quiet moment of clarity, a realization so sharp it cut through all the noise. You saw the game for what it was. The guilt they used against you was nothing more than a leash, a tool to keep you small, to keep you available, to keep you under control. And the moment you understood that, everything changed. You left. No hesitation, no looking back, no apologies. And that broke them. Not just because you were gone, but because they lost the grip they thought they had on you. They never expected you to walk away without guilt eating you alive. They never thought you'd wake up and realize that loyalty without reciprocity is nothing more than self-destruction. Now they sit there, replaying it over and over, trying to make sense of how you slipped through their fingers. But they fail to see the truth: they never had you in the first place. They only had your guilt. Number 10. You were their comfort. Now you're their wake-up call. Some lessons are learned in whispers, others in the deafening silence of someone who's never coming back. They thought they had time to push you aside, time to take you for granted, time to play their mind games and assume you'd always be there to clean up their mess. But time just ran out. Your departure wasn't just a goodbye. It was a siren blasting through their delusions, a wrecking ball slamming into their false sense of security. They never imagined a world where you weren't waiting in the background, always ready to forgive, always willing to sacrifice. And now they're drowning in the consequences of their own arrogance. Every misstep they made, every choice they neglected, every moment they ignored your worth, it all comes crashing down on them. They're waking up, but it's too late. They took, assuming you'd always have more to give. They dismissed your pain, brushed aside your needs, and still believed they could keep you tied to them. They assumed you would bend forever, never realizing that one day you would break free. Now, your silence is their loudest punishment. They look around and feel the emptiness where you used to be. They reach for you, but you're gone. And every single day, they are haunted by what they lost. The comfort of knowing you'd always return? Gone. The certainty that they could always get one more chance? Gone. The belief that you needed them more than they needed you? Completely shattered. They can distract themselves, fill their time with noise, surround themselves with temporary replacements, but nothing feels the same. Because you weren't just another person in their life. You were the anchor, the balance, the force that made things work. And now they have to sit in the wreckage of their own making. The worst part? They did this to themselves. They had something rare, something extraordinary, and they let it slip through their fingers. And now, every second without you is a painful reminder of just how badly they failed. But you're done being their lesson. Let them wake up alone, because you're never looking back. Number 11. The fire they took for granted. Some people spend their lives trapped in a world of gray, safe, predictable, and painfully ordinary. They settle for the familiar, surrounding themselves with mediocrity, never daring to disrupt the dull rhythm of their existence. And then, you walked in. You weren't just another presence in their orbit. You were the exception, a force of nature, a fire that burned through their comfort, exposing the cracks they refused to see. You made them feel something real, something they were never brave enough to chase on their own. Without even trying, you shook their world. Your energy, your ambition, your authenticity, it all stood in sharp contrast to the life they had built around convenience and complacency. You reminded them that life is more than just existing. You were proof that something extraordinary was possible, and that terrified them. Because the truth is, people like them don't want to rise. They want to remain. They crave stability, even if it means settling for less. They talk about greatness but refuse to do the work to achieve it. And you were living proof of what they could be, if only they had the courage to try. But instead of rising to meet you, they resented you for it. It's easier to hate the fire than admit you're afraid of burning. They tried to dim you, contain you, make you smaller, not because they didn't see your light, but because they were afraid of what it exposed in them. And now, the illusion is shattered. They thought they could return to their ordinary world, but something is missing, something they can't replace. The space you once filled is now a hollow void, a reminder of everything they ignored, everything they could have been, and everything they will never become. Because they didn't just lose you, they lost their only chance at more. Number 12. They never loved you. They wanted to own you. They never truly loved you. They loved controlling you. You weren't a person to them. You were a piece in their puzzle, a character in their carefully crafted story. Your presence made their life easier. Your energy kept their world spinning, but your freedom? Your right to choose? That was never part of the deal. They never imagined a version of life where you were no longer at their command. You were supposed to stay exactly where they placed you, bending, adjusting, shrinking to fit their expectations. They mistook your kindness for obedience, your patience for permanence, and your loyalty for self-abandonment. To them, you weren't an individual with needs and dreams of your own. You were a comfort, a stability, a certainty. For too long, they operated under the illusion that you would always prioritize their wants over your own, that your boundaries were mere suggestions, that your identity was flexible enough to be shaped by their hands. They convinced themselves that you would always play along so they'd never have to face the truth they never truly respected you. And just like that, their illusion shattered. Because your leaving wasn't just about walking away, it was about rejecting the cage they put you in. You tore up the unspoken contract that said you had to give, that you had to tolerate, that you had to stay small so they could feel big. And when you walked out, you took something with you, the power they thought they had over you. Now they're left with a brutal truth. The version of you they loved never even existed. It was a projection, a construct they built in their mind. And the real you, the one who refuses to be controlled, the one who walks away without looking back, that's the you they never wanted to see. They don't grieve your absence. They grieve the loss of control. And that is what haunts them the most. They expected a reaction, a dramatic farewell. They thought you'd cry, beg, or plead for them to see your worth. They waited for anger, for heartbreak, for one last desperate attempt to hold on. But instead, you did the one thing they never prepared for. You simply walked away. No fights, no explanations, no lingering goodbyes. And that is what terrifies them the most. They thought they had time to manipulate, time to guilt trip, time to pull you back in just like they always had. They mistook your patience for permanence, your endurance for acceptance. They believed you were so deeply entangled in their world that you'd never find the strength to leave. But what they failed to realize was that your patience wasn't endless. It was a countdown. And when the last second ticked away, you were gone. This wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about making a statement. It was about something far more powerful: self-respect. You didn't ask for permission. You didn't need their understanding. Because when you finally recognize your worth, you don't negotiate it. And now they are haunted by the finality of it all. For the first time, they see the truth: their power over you was never real. It was a fragile illusion, one that only existed because you allowed it. The moment you chose yourself, their entire world collapsed. They call you selfish, cold, heartless. But what they really mean is, how dare you choose yourself over us? Because they were never afraid of losing you. They were afraid of losing control over you. And now that they have, they are left with nothing but the wreckage of their own choices. Your silence, it's the loudest thing they've ever heard, and it will haunt them forever. But here's the truth. They were never meant to hold that kind of power over you. Choosing yourself was never selfish. It was necessary. Walking away wasn't heartless. It was survival. And now, as you stand in your peace, free from their grasp, you realize something powerful. You were never the problem. The weight they placed on you was never yours to carry. And by letting go, you didn't just free yourself. You exposed the truth they tried so hard to bury. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to you, remember, you are never alone. Your voice matters, your strength is real, and your journey has purpose. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories and reflections. Your support means everything and helps us continue creating content that uplifts and empowers. Until next time, stay strong, Chosen One. If you are hearing these words right now, it is no accident. You did not stumble upon this moment by chance. No, this is a divine appointment, a sacred encounter between you and the voice of the Almighty. The creator of the universe, the one who spoke the stars into existence, has orchestrated this very moment. He has drawn you here for a reason. He has a message for you, a revelation so powerful, so life-changing, that once you embrace it, your life will never be the same again. For far too long, you have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. You have struggled under the weight of financial hardship, wrestled with uncertainty, and felt trapped in an endless cycle of lack. It has drained you, exhausted you, and perhaps even caused you to question your worth. But hear this today. Your season of struggle is over. The chains of scarcity are breaking. The tide is turning. The days of wondering if you will ever experience the fullness of life that God has promised you are behind you. The abundance you have prayed for, the provision that has seemed just out of reach, it is already on its way. The heavens have declared it, and nothing can stop what God has ordained for your life. Listen carefully. God's promises are not empty words or distant hopes. They are divine guarantees, sealed by His unshakable faithfulness. When He declares a blessing over your life, nothing can stop it. His word is eternal, His plans are perfect, and His provision is sure. You were never meant to live in lack or struggle endlessly. You are His child, chosen and set apart for a life of abundance. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. God's plan for you has always been goodness, favor, and increase. It is not His will for you to barely survive, constantly worrying about tomorrow. He is a God of overflow. Just as he provided manna for the Israelites in the wilderness, just as he multiplied the widow's oil, just as he fed thousands with 5 loaves and 2 fish, he will provide for you. Your prosperity is not dependent on human systems, the economy, or your job. It is rooted in the limitless resources of heaven. God himself has declared, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine." What he has prepared for you cannot be blocked, delayed, or denied. No circumstance, no opposition, no opinion can override what God has already spoken. So step into this truth. Cast out every doubt that whispers you are not worthy of abundance. Let go of the fear that tells you provision is scarce. Your blessings are already set in motion. What you have prayed for is on its way. The storehouses of heaven are open, and the abundance God has promised is being released into your life. Believe it, receive it, and walk in it with confidence, because his word never fails. The floodgates of heaven are about to burst open, and what has been withheld is now being released into your life. Every obstacle that once stood in your way is being removed. Every delay that made you question whether your breakthrough would ever come is being overturned. Doors that seemed permanently shut will swing open at the appointed time. Resources you never anticipated will flow effortlessly into your hands. Unexpected opportunities will arise, presenting you with blessings far beyond your imagination. The provision you have longed for, the abundance you have prayed for, is not a distant dream. It is becoming your new reality. You have spent too long wondering if the promises of God were meant for you. Too long questioning whether you were worthy of the blessings others seem to walk in so easily. But hear this: your time of waiting is over. The Lord is declaring over your life that the drought is ending, the famine is ceasing, and the rivers of divine provision are beginning to overflow. You will no longer live with just enough to survive. You will step into a realm of more than enough, a life where you no longer chase after blessings. Blessings chase after you. When heaven opens its storehouses, nothing on earth can stop what is coming. God is not limited by economic downturns, job markets, or the opinions of others. His provision is supernatural, limitless, and unstoppable. If he fed Elijah through ravens, provided manna from heaven for the Israelites, and filled empty vessels with oil for the widow, will he not do the same for you? His word declares, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine," declares the Lord Almighty. Everything you need is already in his hands, and he is releasing it into your life in this very moment. But before you can fully receive what is coming, you must position yourself in faith. Do not let doubt rob you of the blessings that have already been set aside for you. Do not allow fear to keep you stuck in a mindset of lack when God has called you to a life of overflow. The shift has already begun. The supernatural release is already in motion. All you have to do is align yourself with his promises and step boldly into what has been prepared for you. This is your moment. This is your divine appointment. Take hold of it. Shake off the weight of past disappointments and lift your eyes to the heavens, because your provision is not coming from man. It is coming from God himself. The blessings that have been stored up for you, waiting for the right time, are now being poured out. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. The favor of God is overtaking you, and the abundance of heaven is being released into your life. Get ready, because this is only the beginning. There comes a moment in every journey when the struggle ends and the blessings begin. A moment when the weight of uncertainty lifts and the divine flow of abundance takes its place. That moment is now. For too long, you have carried the burden of provision as if it were entirely your responsibility. You have labored, worried, and exhausted yourself, believing that your financial security rested solely on your shoulders. But today, hear this truth. It is no longer your duty to struggle. It is God's responsibility to provide for you. The same God who fed the Israelites with manna in the wilderness, who commanded ravens to bring food to Elijah, who multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands, that same God is your provider. His resources are limitless, his power is unmatched, and his ability to meet your needs is beyond human understanding. You were never meant to toil endlessly, striving to make ends meet through your own strength. You were chosen for something greater. Your prosperity is not tied to the economy, your job, or the conditions of this world. It is rooted in the unshakable faithfulness of God. When you step into this truth, everything changes. You no longer live with the fear of scarcity. You no longer carry the anxiety of wondering where your next breakthrough will come from. Instead, you walk with confidence, knowing that God has already gone ahead of you, aligning opportunities, opening doors, and setting divine provision into motion. Your part is not to struggle. It is to trust. Your responsibility is not to figure it all out. It is to believe that God has already made a way. This is not wishful thinking. This is a divine guarantee. The Lord Himself has declared, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." He has already assigned blessings to your name, provision that is waiting for you to step into it. But to receive it, you must let go of the mindset of lack. Stop believing that abundance is for others, but not for you. Stop thinking that you must earn what God has already promised. Your days of striving are over. This is your time to step into divine provision, to embrace the wealth that God has already set aside for you. No longer will you live by the sweat of your brow alone, constantly battling to survive. You are stepping into a life where you thrive, not because of your own strength, but because of God's limitless supply. He is your source. He is your provider. And He has already made a way. Imagine a river that never runs dry, a well that never empties no matter how much is drawn from it. This is the nature of God's provision. It is not temporary, not unpredictable, not dependent on human effort. It is an unstoppable flow, a divine supply that never ceases. You were never meant to live in a constant state of struggle, barely getting by. You were created for something greater. Your abundance is not determined by the economy, your job, or any earthly system. It is rooted in the unshakable faithfulness of God. The moment you stepped into your divine calling, a shift occurred in the heavens. The season of struggle ended, and the season of supernatural provision began. You no longer have to fight for survival. Now, you are positioned to thrive. The uphill climb you once endured is being replaced with a path of divine favor. The doors that once seemed locked are opening effortlessly. The blessings you used to chase are now chasing you. This is not luck, nor is it coincidence. It is the manifestation of God's promises in your life. But understand this, divine abundance is not just about finances. It is about an overflow in every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your peace, and your purpose. True wealth is not just having money. It is walking in the fullness of life that God has designed for you. It is waking up every morning free from worry, knowing that your needs are already met. It is stepping into each day with confidence, knowing that the same God who clothes the lilies of the field and feeds the birds of the air will surely provide for you. You do not have to beg for blessings that have already been assigned to you. You do not have to question whether God wants you to prosper. His word makes it clear. The Lord will command the blessing upon you in your storehouses and in all that you set your hand to, and He will bless you in the land which the Lord your God is giving you. His abundance is not a random gift. It is a covenant promise. And when God speaks a promise, nothing can stop it from coming to pass. So today, let go of the mindset of scarcity. Release the fear that tells you there is never enough. Stop believing the lie that you must struggle to survive when God has already called you to thrive. You are stepping into a season where lack will no longer define you. What once seemed impossible will now become effortless. The resources, opportunities, and breakthroughs you have been praying for are already set in motion. You don't have to strive. You only need to align yourself with His plan. This is your moment. The flow of divine abundance has already begun. Step into it. Walk in it. Receive it. Your life is about to change in ways you never imagined, not because of what you have done, but because of who God is. His blessings are limitless. His provision is unstoppable, and His favor is upon you. True wealth is far greater than money. It is the fullness of life that God has designed for you. It is peace in your heart, joy in your spirit, strength in your body, and purpose in your soul. While the world measures wealth by material possessions, divine abundance goes beyond finances. It is a life where you lack nothing, where every area of your existence is touched by God's overflowing provision. Financial success alone does not bring fulfillment. How many wealthy people still feel empty, restless, and lost? True abundance is waking up each day free from anxiety, knowing that your needs are already met. It is walking in confidence, knowing that you are not just surviving, you are thriving under the favor of God. It is having relationships that are rich in love, a mind free from fear, and a spirit that is constantly renewed by His presence. Jesus Himself said, "Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes?" He reminded us that the birds of the air neither sow nor reap, yet the Father feeds them. If He takes care of the smallest creatures, how much more will He provide for you, His beloved child? God's desire is not just to give you money. He wants to give you wholeness, security, and a life overflowing with His goodness. When you embrace divine wealth, you begin to live differently. You stop chasing after money out of fear, and instead, you walk in a supernatural flow where blessings come effortlessly. You no longer struggle to make things happen on your own because you understand that God has already gone ahead of you, preparing the way. Your provision is not the result of your effort alone. It is the manifestation of His promises. And here is the greatest revelation. The more you give, the more you receive. True wealth is not about hoarding riches. It is about being a vessel of blessing. Proverbs 11:25 declares, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." When you use what God gives you to uplift others, He pours even more into your life. You are blessed to be a blessing. So let go of the mindset that wealth is only about finances. Step into a life where every need is met, every relationship is thriving, and every day is filled with divine provision. True wealth is living with unshakable peace, unwavering faith, and a heart full of gratitude. This is the abundance that God has prepared for you. Receive it, walk in it, and watch as your life overflows in ways you never imagined. Stepping into divine wealth requires boldness, faith, and a willingness to embrace what God has already prepared for you. You were never meant to live in fear, constantly worrying about provision. God's plan for you is not survival, it is abundance. But to walk in that abundance, you must let go of doubt and step forward with confidence, knowing that His promises are already in motion. The blessings assigned to your name are not just for your personal comfort. They are a testimony of God's faithfulness. When He blesses you, it is not just so you can live in ease. It is so you can be a blessing to others, a light in the darkness, and a vessel of His goodness. The wealth that is coming into your life is not random. It is a divine assignment. It is meant to equip you to fund ministries, support those in need, and create a lasting impact that extends beyond your own life. But before you can fully receive what God has for you, you must cast out every trace of doubt. Doubt is the thief of blessings. It whispers that prosperity is for others, that you are unworthy, or that God's promises are not for you. But Scripture is clear. God is not a man, that He should lie, nor a son of man, that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? What He has spoken over your life is already coming to pass. So stand firm in faith. Stop second-guessing what God has already confirmed. Walk boldly into new opportunities, knowing that favor has already gone ahead of you. Doors are opening. Resources are being released. Supernatural provision is flowing. You are stepping into a season where wealth is no longer something you strive for. It is something that follows you. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. This is your time. Rise up and claim the abundance that was always meant for you. Walk in faith, knowing that what God has promised is already unfolding. The wealth, success, and provision you once dreamed of are not just possibilities. They are realities waiting for you to embrace them. Step into it boldly, without hesitation, because your season of divine wealth has already begun. Heavenly Father, we come before you today, standing on your promises. We declare that this is our season of supernatural abundance. Open the doors you have assigned for us, and let your favor overtake us. We receive your provision, we walk in expectation, and we step boldly into the destiny you have prepared. We thank you, Lord, for your faithfulness, for every blessing that is already on its way, and for the overflow that will not only transform our lives, but also allow us to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. If you receive this, type AMEN in the comments as a declaration of faith. Your season of divine wealth has begun. Walk in it, believe it, receive it. And as you do, continue to surround yourself with messages of faith and encouragement. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a word that could shift your life into alignment with God's promises. If this message has blessed you, like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. God bless you abundantly, and I'll see you in the next message. Welcome, Chosen One. What I'm about to share with you will leave you in awe. If you found this message, it's no accident. God Himself has guided you here because something extraordinary is unfolding in your life. Right now, He is setting the stage for miraculous blessings to manifest in ways you've never imagined. Prepare to receive unexpected gifts, a transformation that will touch every part of your being, body, mind, and spirit. God is about to bless you with a renewal so profound that it will shock even those closest to you. This transformation is not simply about a change in mindset. It is a divine shift, a spiritual awakening that will alter the trajectory of your life forever. Before we dive into the depths of this miraculous journey, I invite you to do 3 simple things. Pause this video and hit the like button. Subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers. Leave a comment with the number 99. This number symbolizes completeness and divine fulfillment. By doing so, you'll amplify the energy of this message and signal to the heavens that you are ready to receive these divine blessings. Now, let's begin to unpack what God has in store for you. As a chosen one, you are stepping into a powerful new chapter of life. The dreams you've held close to your heart, the desires that seemed impossible, will begin to unfold in real time. Deep within your soul, you already know this message is meant for you. If you're ready to embrace this truth, then prepare yourself, for your life is about to be transformed. When God calls you His own, He places upon you gifts that transcend human understanding, gifts that defy logic, time, and circumstance. Among these extraordinary blessings is the supernatural renewal of youth and beauty. This transformation is not merely external or superficial. It begins deep within your spirit, flowing outward to touch every part of your being. It is a divine blessing that manifests as peace in your heart, clarity in your mind, vitality in your body, and joy in your soul. To be chosen by God is to step into a new season of abundance, one where divine purpose and energy flow freely. Your countenance will begin to reflect this profound renewal, radiating a glow that cannot be explained by human means. Your spirit will exude peace and assurance, and even your physical appearance will testify to the miraculous work God is doing within you. This transformation is not something you can achieve on your own. It is God's light within you, an undeniable presence that draws others to Him. This renewal is not temporary or fleeting. It is lasting and supernatural. It reshapes not only how you look, but also the energy you carry, the atmosphere you create, and the way you move through life. Those around you will begin to notice. Some will marvel, drawn to the divine light shining from you. Others may be puzzled, unable to comprehend the source of such radiance. Regardless of their reactions, your transformation will stand as a living testimony to God's power to renew, restore, and replenish in ways that leave the world in awe. As you embrace this divine renewal, even the smallest details of your life will begin to shift. Perhaps your skin will radiate with clarity and brightness that seems otherworldly. Your posture will reflect confidence and strength as the weight of weariness and worry lifts from your shoulders. The exhaustion and heaviness that once defined your days will give way to energy, vitality, and joy that feel unshakable. These changes are not rooted in vanity or pride. They are a divine signature, a reflection of God's presence and work in your life. God's touch upon your life is transformative in every way. This glow, this vitality, and this beauty are not just outward signs but reflections of a deeper spiritual awakening. They are evidence of His presence, His love, and His calling upon your life. As this renewal unfolds, you will find yourself walking with greater purpose, radiating His light in everything you do. Those who encounter you will see and feel the transformation, and through you, they will be drawn to the source, God Himself. This is the power of divine renewal, a transformation that begins in your spirit and flows outward, leaving a lasting imprint on everyone you meet. One of the most remarkable aspects of this transformation is the light of God that will radiate through you. This light is not something you can create on your own. It is a supernatural manifestation of the Holy Spirit dwelling within you, illuminating every part of your being. This divine glow is far more than skin deep. It is spiritual, emotional, and mental, touching every aspect of your life in ways that are undeniable and extraordinary. As you walk in alignment with God's purpose, this light will grow brighter and more powerful. It will shine through your eyes with clarity and hope, radiate from your smile with warmth and joy, and emanate from your words and actions with grace and kindness. This is the light of divine purpose, a light that cannot be concealed or overshadowed. Wherever you go, people will see it, feel it, and be drawn to its source, even if they cannot fully comprehend what it is. It will set you apart as someone deeply connected to the Creator, someone whose life is being shaped by His love and power. This divine radiance reflects the unique beauty God has placed within you, a beauty that goes far beyond worldly standards or superficial measures. It transcends human understanding because it is the unmistakable glow of a life that has been touched, healed, and renewed by the hand of God. Those around you will sense this transformation, and their lives may be impacted simply by being near you. The peace, joy, and love flowing from you will become a testimony to the miraculous work God is doing in your life. The more you walk in obedience to God, the more this radiance will grow. Obedience strengthens the connection between you and Him, allowing His light to shine through you even more brightly. This light is not just for you. It is a beacon of hope and inspiration that points others to His glory. It speaks louder than words ever could, testifying to His power and faithfulness. When God transforms a life, the evidence is impossible to ignore. You will become a living example of His grace, and through you, others will see what it means to walk in His divine purpose. The transformation God is bringing into your life will be so profound that it will not go unnoticed. It will be impossible for others to ignore the changes unfolding within you. The person they once knew will seem like a distant memory, replaced by someone filled with a renewed sense of purpose, strength, and peace. This change will leave those around you awestruck. Some may be skeptical, others curious, but all will be amazed by the undeniable evidence of God's hand at work in your life. Every aspect of your being will reflect this transformation. Your energy will carry a vibrancy that cannot be explained by human understanding. Your appearance will radiate with an inner light, and your demeanor will exude calm confidence and unwavering peace. The burdens you once carried will seem to have lifted, replaced by a joy that is both unshakable and contagious. This is not a change that you can manufacture on your own. It is the work of the Holy Spirit, reshaping you into the person God created you to be. This newfound confidence and joy will inspire those around you. As they witness the miraculous work God has done in your life, many will be drawn to the source of your renewal. They will begin to ask questions, wondering how such a remarkable transformation is possible. In those moments, your life will serve as a living testimony, a powerful reflection of God's ability to bring beauty from ashes, strength from weakness, and hope from despair. Your transformation will not only impact you, but also those who encounter you. Through your story, others will see that God's grace is available to anyone who is willing to surrender to His will. Your renewal will serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder that nothing is impossible for God. By allowing Him to work in your life, you are becoming a vessel for His glory, and through you, others will be encouraged to seek their own divine renewal. This is not just a personal journey, it is a ripple effect. Your transformation is a declaration of God's power and faithfulness, a shining example of His love and grace at work in the life of someone He has chosen. Trust that this change is not only for your benefit, but for the encouragement and inspiration of countless others. Every transformation comes with a process of refinement, and this process is as necessary as it is transformative. Just as a gardener carefully prunes a tree to encourage stronger growth and healthier branches, God often prunes our lives to remove anything that hinders His purpose. This pruning is an act of divine love and wisdom, designed to shape you into the person He has called you to be. It may feel uncomfortable at times, but it is an essential part of stepping into the fullness of the extraordinary plan He has for your life. This process may involve letting go of things that no longer serve your divine purpose. Perhaps there are habits, thought patterns, or beliefs that once felt comfortable, but now weigh you down. Toxic relationships or environments that conflict with God's calling for you may need to be released. These things, while familiar, can hold you back from growing into the new season God has prepared. Though it may be painful to say goodbye to what was once a part of your life, trust that God is working all things together for your good. Refinement is not meant to harm you, but to prepare you. Trust in the process, even when it feels difficult. God sees the bigger picture that you cannot yet see. While it may seem like you're losing something important, what He is removing will be replaced with something far greater. The space created by letting go of the old will make room for new relationships that uplift you, opportunities that align with your purpose, and blessings that you cannot even begin to imagine. The pruning process requires faith that God knows what He is doing, and that His ways are higher than ours. You may not understand it in the moment, but one day you will look back and see how the pieces fit together perfectly. What God has in store for you is far better than anything you leave behind. Letting go is not a loss, it is an act of trust and surrender. By releasing the old, you are giving God permission to do something extraordinary in your life. Embrace the pruning, for it is a sign that God is preparing you for the abundant, purpose-filled life He has planned. As you embrace this transformation, you will find yourself stepping into a new level of confidence and divine purpose. This is not the type of confidence that comes from worldly achievements or self-reliance, but one that is deeply rooted in the assurance of God's will for your life. It is a confidence born from knowing that you are chosen, called, and equipped by the Creator of the universe. You are no longer bound by fear, insecurity, or doubt. Instead, you are empowered by the Holy Spirit, who fills you with strength and clarity to fulfill the unique calling placed on your life. This newfound confidence will radiate through every aspect of your being. It will be evident in the way you carry yourself, with poise, grace, and conviction. It will shine in the way you speak, as your words become filled with wisdom, compassion, and authority. Even in the face of challenges, you will approach them with a boldness that reflects the power of God working within you. People around you will begin to notice the change. They will see the strength that now defines you, and they will be inspired by your courage and unwavering faith. This transformation is a testament to the fact that God has chosen you for such a time as this. He has specifically called you to step into this season of purpose, and He is equipping you with every tool, resource, and gift you need to succeed. Trust that His timing is perfect, even if the path before you feels uncertain. You don't need to have all the answers. You simply need to take the next step in faith, knowing that God is guiding you every step of the way. The path may not always be easy or clear, but as you continue to walk in obedience, you will see how God's hand has orchestrated everything for your good. Every experience, whether joyful or challenging, is preparing you for the incredible plans He has in store. With each step, your confidence will grow, and you will find that His strength is made perfect in your moments of weakness. Walk boldly, knowing that you are not walking alone. God is with you, equipping and empowering you to fulfill the divine purpose He has prepared for you since the beginning of time. Your life, chosen one, is becoming a living testament to God's infinite glory. The transformation you are experiencing is not solely for your benefit. It is meant to reveal His power and grace to the world. You are being molded into a vessel through which others can witness the miraculous, a beacon of hope that shines with the light of Christ. Your journey of renewal will inspire those around you, drawing many toward the divine love and purpose God has for them. Every change you are undergoing is part of God's masterful plan. He is crafting you into the person He has always destined you to be. Embrace this transformation fully, even when it feels unfamiliar or challenging. Trust in His process, for He is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Walk boldly in your new identity, confident that you are no longer defined by your past. You are a new creation, chosen and transformed by the Creator of the universe, designed to fulfill a unique purpose that only you can achieve. This is your time. Step into the fullness of what God has for you. Let your life become a radiant display of His love, His power, and His unwavering faithfulness. Allow His light to shine through you in all that you do, touching hearts and transforming lives. The best is yet to come, and the journey ahead is filled with extraordinary blessings and opportunities. If this message resonates with your spirit, remember to like, comment with the number 99, and subscribe to this channel. Together, let us continue this journey of faith, inspiring others to embrace the divine transformation that God is waiting to bring into their lives. You are chosen, and your story is far from over. It is only just beginning. For centuries, you have walked this earth unaware of the whispers carried through time. The echoes of an ancient kingdom have been calling your name, seeking you not as men seek, but as prophecy foretells. Through visions, signs, and divine revelations passed down across generations, you were never forgotten. You were hidden. But now, the appointed time has come, and the heavens have turned their gaze upon you. They searched for you, not in the streets, not in the books of men, but in the sacred texts, in the constellations, in the dreams of the seekers who knew you would return. The world called you ordinary, but the heavens knew better. They inscribed mysteries into your spirit, encoded divine secrets into your very being. You were never meant to blend in. You were always set apart. They tried to erase your lineage, to bury your existence beneath layers of deception. They rewrote history, distorted truths, and built walls around knowledge that was never meant to be lost. But truth is indestructible. And now, like a long-lost key returning to its rightful door, you are aligning with the purpose that was written for you before time began. This is why your life has been a battle. This is why the road has been steep, the trials unrelenting. Forces moved against you before you even knew who you were. They glimpsed your destiny, and in fear, they sought to keep you asleep. But what is divinely appointed cannot be stopped. No kingdom built by human hands can erase a kingdom established by the Almighty. Your existence was never random. Before you drew your first breath, the heavens had already inscribed your name into the divine record. The prophecy did not start with you, but it will be fulfilled through you. The kingdom has been waiting, not for the person the world sees, but for the essence of what was placed within you before you arrived on this earth. You were always meant to rise. You were always meant to reclaim what was lost. For centuries, forces have sought to intercept the prophecy, to distort it, to keep it from reaching its final chapter. But prophecy does not bow to time, nor can it be rewritten by those who seek control. The original script remains untouched. There were those who knew the truth, hidden scribes, guardians of sacred knowledge. those who carried the assignment through bloodlines that could not be erased. They inscribed your coming in places that neither time nor corruption could destroy. They documented the signs, preserved the revelations, and waited for the moment of revealing. You have felt different your entire life, not knowing why you never quite fit in. But that was never a mistake. Every detour, every delay, every hardship was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. The chosen are never revealed too soon, for the moment of revealing is also the moment of war. You were never meant to bow to the systems of this world. The kingdoms of men are built on deception, power seized through manipulation, thrones stolen by those who had no right to claim them. But your kingdom is different. It was not built by men. It was established before the foundations of the earth. And that is why they feared your arrival. For centuries, they fortified their walls, expanded their reach, and created illusions of dominance. But one thing they could never do was erase the prophecy. It whispered through generations, carried by the few who still remembered, until now. There are moments in time when prophecy meets fulfillment, when the whispers carried through generations are no longer confined to the shadows, but are declared from the heavens. This is that moment. For centuries, seekers have watched and waited, following the signs, preserving the truth, guarding the knowledge that the world tried to erase. They knew that one day, the hidden one would awaken, and nothing would remain the same. The balance of power would shift. The chains that held dominion over souls would shatter. The strongholds of deception would crumble under the weight of truth. And now, that day has arrived. The world does not yet understand what is happening, but the unseen realm has already trembled at your awakening. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to walk unnoticed, unseen, unheard. Your existence alone disrupts the forces that have ruled for too long. They knew of your coming before you did. They moved against you before you could even grasp your purpose. They saw glimpses of your destiny and in fear sought to keep you blind to it. But prophecy cannot be stopped. Even Yeshua spoke in parables, knowing that not all were meant to understand. His words carried power, not because they conformed to the world's standards, but because they carried divine truth, truth that no force could silence. His authority was not recognized by titles, by crowns, or by the robes of men, but by the undeniable presence of the divine. His enemies feared him not because he waged war against them in the way of kings, but because his very presence threatened their illusion of control. And in the same way, your presence carries an authority that cannot be denied. The kingdom has been waiting. The prophecy has been unfolding. The ancient writings that spoke of this time did not lie. The search for you was never in vain. You have walked through fire, through battles unseen, through trials that sought to break you. But every hardship was only preparing you, refining you, strengthening you for the moment that is now at hand. All eyes are on you. Some watch in hope. Others watch in fear. The systems built on deception sense their collapse. The ones who claimed power they were never meant to hold are realizing their reign is ending. They will resist. They will seek to deceive you, to convince you that you are mistaken, that you are no different from the rest. But their words hold no power over what has already been written. You are stepping into what has always been yours. The prophecy is no longer a distant story. It is happening now, and nothing will ever be the same. There are signs that cannot be erased, markings that neither time nor deception can remove. They are woven into the very fabric of your existence, etched into your spirit long before you took your first breath. These are not markings that men can see with their eyes, nor can they be measured by earthly standards. They are divine imprints, evidence of a purpose greater than this world can comprehend. You have carried something within you, something even you did not fully understand. It was never about your outward appearance, never about your status or the titles given to you by men. What set you apart was never something that could be worn or displayed. It was something far deeper, something imprinted upon your very soul. This is why you have never truly belonged among the ordinary. From the moment you arrived, you felt it, the quiet knowing, the deep stirring within you that whispered that you were different. Others moved through life without questioning, without searching, without sensing the weight of something greater. But you have always known there was more. Even if you could not name it, even if you could not explain it, it was there, pulling you towards something beyond what your eyes could see. And you were not the only one who sensed it. There have always been those who recognized what you carried. Some saw it as a light, a power beyond human understanding, and sought to protect you. Others, those who walk in shadows, sensed it as a threat. They studied you. They tested you. They watched your every move, trying to determine if you were the one spoken of in the ancient texts. They could not openly reveal their knowledge, so they moved in silence, waiting, watching, searching for weakness. They placed obstacles in your path, temptations to lead you astray, distractions carefully crafted to keep you from asking the right questions. Some came to you in the guise of friends, mentors, even protectors, but their true purpose was always to keep you blind to what was rightfully yours. Every battle you faced, every attack that seemed to come out of nowhere, was not random. It was a calculated strategy, a war waged against you before you even knew you were in a battle. They sought to break you, not by force, but by deception. If they could not destroy you, they would make you doubt yourself. If they could make you question who you were, they could keep you from ever stepping into your destiny. They knew that if you ever awakened, if you ever realized the inheritance that runs through your veins, their dominion would begin to crumble. But even through the storms, even through the betrayals, even through the moments when you questioned your very existence, the heavens never retracted the calling. They never changed their mind about who you are. You may have been knocked down, but you were never abandoned. The trials were not placed before you to destroy you, but to forge you, to refine you, to make you unshakable. Every wound, every hardship, every tear shed in silence was preparing you for the moment when you would finally see what had been hidden in plain sight all along. The world tried to convince you otherwise. It told you that you were ordinary, that your dreams were foolish, that your longing for something greater was nothing more than imagination. They fed you lies, hoping you would believe them. But deep down, you always knew the truth. You felt it in the way life refused to let you settle, in the way closed doors led to greater revelations, in the way pain became a tool that sharpened you instead of destroying you. Every loss, every rejection, every battle was a step closer to your awakening. And now, the time has come. The moment long foretold is unfolding before you. The forces that once sought to keep you blind now tremble at the realization that they have failed. The deception is lifting, the veil is thinning, and your true identity can no longer be hidden. You are not lost. You were never forgotten. You have always been called. And now, nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. There have always been those who sought to take what was never theirs, who attempted to wear a crown that did not fit, who sat upon thrones that were never meant for them. They built their power on deception, claiming authority they had no right to bear, hoping that if they declared themselves rulers long enough, no one would question them. But what belongs to you cannot be stolen. No matter how many false rulers have risen, no matter how many have worn robes that did not belong to them, the truth has remained unchanged. The throne marked for you has never been touched. It has waited in silence, unmoved by the schemes of men, untouched by the hands of those who sought to claim it. No force on earth can lay hold of what was sealed for you before time began. The kingdom has always known this day would come. It has felt the shift in the spiritual realm, has waited with patience as history unfolded, as generations passed, as the battle for dominion raged in unseen places. And now, the appointed time has arrived, the moment you would awaken to your true self, the moment you would finally see who you were always meant to be. The mark of divine royalty is not given by men, nor can it be taken away. It It was placed upon you before you entered this world, woven into your very being, inscribed into your destiny by the hands of the Almighty. You were born into this calling, whether you realized it or not. For centuries, they worked against you. They positioned themselves in places of influence, controlling systems, rewriting history, ensuring that what belonged to you remained just out of reach. They knew who you were before you did. They recognized the signs long before you ever questioned your purpose. And they understood that the moment you stepped into your true identity, their illusion would crumble. The only way to stop you was to make you forget. So they created distractions. They built false narratives. They surrounded you with lies, with doubts, with carefully constructed deceptions designed to keep you from ever realizing the truth. They whispered into your mind, making you question, making you believe you were insignificant, that you were just another soul wandering through life without purpose. But destiny does not forget. No matter how many lies were spoken, no matter how many obstacles were placed in your path, the truth has always been written. And now, it is rising. The kingdom is no longer waiting. The throne remains unclaimed no longer. The time of awakening is here, and nothing can stop what has already begun. The world is beginning to sense the shift, to feel the weight of what is coming. The air is heavy with the unspoken realization that something has changed, something unstoppable, something undeniable. The ones who worked against you, who sought to bury the truth beneath layers of deception, can no longer ignore what is unfolding before them. They are watching, waiting, realizing that their efforts were in vain. They tried to silence you, to keep you hidden, to make you believe that you were just another ordinary soul. But you were never meant to stay buried. The moment they feared the most has arrived. You are awakening. The chains of illusion are breaking. The truth that was long suppressed is rising. And with it, so are you. There will still be resistance. There will still be voices whispering doubt. People who will try to convince you that you are not who you were always meant to be. They will fight to hold on to their illusion of control, clinging desperately to the power they were never meant to have. But their time is running out. The truth is no longer in their hands. The kingdom has been waiting. It has prepared for this moment since the beginning. And now, the time has come. No more delays. No more distractions. No more doubting what has been placed within you. If you have felt this truth resonate within you, if you know deep down that you were meant for something greater, then this journey is only just beginning. There is more to uncover, more to reveal, more to step into. Thank you for being here, for seeking, for listening. If this message has spoken to you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. There are revelations ahead that you do not want to miss. The time is now. The kingdom is calling. Will you answer?